Everyone, we are live. That's pretty exciting, and we're just doing a little pre-show here to get things underway. How's it going?
Going good.
Going all right.
Awesome.
Very excited to show this off, and hope I'm pretty confident it's going to be a really fun time.
I am too. I have been so excited for this basically since I couldn't even sleep hardly last night. Like since
I'm
yesterday. Just like giddy. I can't even.
Good. Good.
Yeah, not a bad can't sleep. This has been.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've been looking forward to it too, and I hope everyone has a great time. This is a really fun game and system, so I think once we get going, it'll be great.
Yeah, well, just kind of chilling in the old Cantina Lounge right now, just having a little pre-character chat,
Absolutely.
I don't know. I think
we're
that
still standing in entrance, but
that's true.
Oh, is this all supposed to be in character? So
No.
maybe I should be playing the.
Are we in character yet? Are we not in character?
shall we go in?
No. No, we're still very much trying to figure out how we're going to make it in this world of Star Wars,
Hi, I'm Troy McClure. You may know me some such roles as that weird alien in the corner, or that other weird alien in the other corner.
That's great. Yeah, oh my gosh, this is just great. Oh, I just realized I need to actually change something in the old Discord post. I didn't actually...
Oh, no worries.
I didn't actually put at everyone.
Oh no, that's fine.
No one will know. No one will know at all. Oh man. But yeah, this is named a long time ago in a Manaverse far, far away. I just want to say I'm fairly proud of that one.
Nice, excellent.
Oh. Oh man. Yeah, this is gonna be great. Oh, you know what that was right there?
Oh,
That
too late now.
that was the moment where we're going to have to switch over here and actually get into our game. But before we do, how about if I just simply say, "Heyo everyone, I'm your friend Art of Mana, and let's dive into our 156th stream where we are going to be playing Star Wars: The Edge of the Empire role-playing game." I've got some amazing people here with me, and would you like to just simply say who here is with me? Who is actually playing this game today?
Yoda's here, holding it down.
Yep.
Got
Taking
the
a
owl right
break
here.
from live streams from lighthouses.
That's right. That's right. Heyo, Dagger. Why don't we just go down the list? So we got Dash as well.
Yep, I'm here. I'll be DMing or GMing the game this afternoon, depending on what time zone you're in. This
Awesome.
evening, maybe.
Awesome. And how about we go ahead and hear from Rem?
Hello, my name is Ramuko, and I'm a roleplay streamer mostly. Some Minecraft, left and right, but mostly roleplay.
Awesome. And how about Zizal?
Hey, I'm Zizal, or the Aloe, or Owl, or whichever way you want to call me. I don't care.
Now, in just a moment, we will be getting into the game. The way this is going to work is that there will be a chat on the side of the screen, visible to everyone. That'll be the chat that you can see actually that's happening in Twitch, because this is being live streamed. And everything that we do, we're going to try and do mostly in character. Of course, our GM is going to be sharing with us some of the rules as we go, because for many of us, myself included, this is the first time ever playing this game. But with that being said, let us begin as every good Star Wars movie or book or game begins, and that is with the opening crawl. Let us begin.
Captain, we're detecting strange signals on the screen. It appears we've been hosted.
Escape! It is a period of unrest and opportunity in the galaxy. The Galactic Empire struggles to maintain control in the midst of civil war. Meanwhile, scoundrels and smugglers, explorers and expatriates, and fringers of all types scramble for a living on the edges of galactic civilization. On the desert world of Tatooine, a few such renegades have run afoul of a local crime boss, Teemo the Hutt. Trapped in the tiny spaceport of Mos Shuta, the renegades have no choice but to steal a starship and flee Teemo's forces. Fortunately, a suitable starship has recently docked at the landing bay, a freighter called the Crate Fang. All right, so that is where our story picks up. So I have a question. Our story begins in a dimly lit cantina, where a furtive-looking figure enters. Who enters the cantina first? Go ahead and introduce yourself and a brief description.
My name is Azkara, and I am a bounty hunter. You do not need to know any more.
Very good. Tell me, what kind of person is Azkara?
If you need to know, you simply have to look at me. My armor is battle-scarred, my weapons are heavy, and I know how to wield them well.
Very good. Well, as you step down a short flight of stairs into the cantina's common room, you notice, first of all, there's a Deveronian bartender who looks like he's about to take your order when a stern look from you tells him to mind his own business. On a stage against the far wall, you can see another Twi'lek woman like you, dancing to recorded music. Private booths line the walls, and the cantina floors are scattered with tables and chairs. A few of the patrons turn in their seats to stare at you. The only other exits you see from the room are what looks to be a storage closet in one corner, and a doorway behind the Twi'lek dancer. The arched roof above you is supported by thick, heavy struts. Now, who comes in after Azkara, the Twi'lek bounty hunter?
That would be Pash. Ex-rebel, or ex-Imperial fighter jockey. Well, kinda ex-Imperial fighter jockey. And an all-around smuggler guy. You know, people like me.
Well, that's good.
And other people don't like me, so...
Maybe we'll find out more about that ex-Imperial background later on.
But Pash walks in, he kind of pulls his jacket down lower over the holdout blaster in the small of his back. And he's gonna, strut up to the bar, kind of sit next to Azkara and, try and make some small talk.
All right, well, we'll come back to that in just a second. Who comes in after Pash? Or after Pash?
That would be medical unit 41 Vex.
Oh, do describe 41 Vex.
41 Vex is a medical robot used to operate on human life forms.
Very good. And what do you do as you walk in through the dusty entrance? Are you just going to stick around the entrance, or are you going to head it further in?
Vex will wait for his buddy to join the Wookiee.
Very good. And speaking of the Wookiee, who is our last party member to enter the cantina?
I am Lodric. I am a Wookiee from the great world of Kashyyyk. I am a hired gun for Teemo, and I will scroll to a table in the back.
Very good. And all of you mentioned, yes, the fact that all of you at one point worked for Teemo the Hutt, the local crime hut lord.
That's
all 4 of you have also decided that working for Timo is not in your best interest. And you're actually... The reason why all 4 of you came into this cantina is because you're on the run from some of Timo's thugs. So I mentioned a couple things when you came in. There are a couple places where you could maybe hide if you want. I can go over those options again if you want. But maybe hiding isn't your style. But you have only moments to choose whether you will hide or prepare to fight, as you can already hear the tromping footsteps of those heavy-set Gamorrean guards right behind you. So, let's start with Ascara. Ascara, what do you want to do? Do you want to hide, or do you want to get ready to fight?
I never hide. Tell me where I need to. Tell me how I can...
It's up to you. If you want to maybe take up a position of cover, there's many options. There's tables you could turn over, if you don't mind disturbing the patrons. You could even try and hop behind the bar, if that's what you would like to do.
I think that Ascara is going to very deftly and very sneakily just kind of go and take cover right behind the bar. I see a little closet area. Is that something that I could get into? And
absolutely.
And it looks like
Okay.
It looks like that might also give me. Can I actually get a bead on any of these guards from that closet?
The Gamorreans have not entered yet. You can hear their footsteps. They're tromping, clump, 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 clump in the distance. They have not yet entered the bar.
But they will be coming from that door, right?
Yes, that same entrance you just came in.
Perfect. That'll be a good spot, I think.
Okay. Now, that closet currently is locked.
Oh.
Fortunately, now this is a great opportunity for our first skill check of the game. To get into that closet will take one of 2 skills. You can either use computers to try and basically hack the lock, or you can use mechanics to override the locking mechanism. Do you have any of those 2 skills?
That is an excellent
If you don't, that's okay. If you don't have... all skills use an appropriate ability score to determine the number of green dice you roll. If you have any training in that skill, you can start to turn those green die into the upgraded yellow dice.
Let's see. I have...
What is...
I have... No. Well, actually, wait a minute. I have computers. I have one.
You have one
point in
training?
Computers and nothing in what was the other mechanics? Yeah, I have nothing in mechanics. So I do have computers though.
I believe both of those go off of your intellect ability score. What is your intellect?
My intellect is 2.
So you're going to be rolling. Since you're trained in 1 point, you're going to be rolling 1 yellow die and 1 green die, and this is going to be an average check. So that means you'll be rolling against 2 purple die. Now, do you have any equipment that might, say, give you a leg up, a bonus of any kind, or any reason you can think of why I should award you with a blue bonus die to help you with this check?
Because I am an amazing bounty hunter. I look really cool.
And getting through locked doors is important for your job? Okay.
Yeah.
This is how these work. You can always negotiate with me for a bonus die, but I may also counter with saying, well, there's this issue that'll hold you back and give you a black setback die.
Okay.
So that's kind of part of the give and take of this, is you're always open to negotiate with the GM for a better dice pool. So go ahead and roll 1 yellow, 1 green, 1 blue, and 2 purple dice, and tell me what the net result is. And while we're going, I'll kind of explain. There are basically 2 axes of success while Man is setting this up. There's success and failure, which is very self-explanatory. In order to succeed a roll, you have to get 1 net success. If you wash out and you get, say 1 success, 1 failure, those will cancel, and you'll still technically fail the roll. There's another axis, advantage and threat. Now, these don't necessarily affect whether or not you succeed in the roll, but they're environmental effects that maybe, on an advantage, give you a little leg up, or a threat, which will make things hard for you. So it's not uncommon for you to succeed on a roll, but get threats, which make things more interesting, or maybe you fail a roll, but you get some advantages. So you're not completely sunk if you fail a roll.
And this is really interesting because I rolled 2 successes and 1 threat. So a net success, right?
Yes.
Of 1. And then I rolled 2, is it triumphs and 2... What's the other one?
The triumph is the one with the lightsaber symbol.
Oh, that's not... No, I didn't do that. It was the... it's the one that...
What shape is it?
It's like the little wings with the ball, and then the other one is almost like
okay.
the yeah.
Those are advantages.
Oh right.
Threats are the kind of imperial cog symbol. The three-pointed star is a failure. The blast explosion is a success. The lightsaber symbol is a triumph, and the triangle in a circle, I think, is the despair, which is the critical failure. Don't roll one of those. Don't do
Okay,
that.
so no, I rolled 2 advantages and 2 disadvantages, along with my basically net 1 success.
Well, those threats and advantages should cancel.
Oh, okay, so it's just a net of 1 success, so I get into the door.
You get in the door. Good job. You're in the closet.
This is a very stinky closet.
All right. Let's move on to Pash. What do you want to do? Do you want to hide or do you want to fight?
He's gonna fight, but Pash is gonna seek cover. So what I'm gonna do, as I hear them like almost banging on the door, I'm gonna grab and kind of sideways vault over the bar, probably kicking some blue milk like across the room.
The Deveroni bartender's like, "Oh, I just poured those. What are you doing?"
And then I'm gonna, and then once I roll over, I'm gonna like draw my pistol, arms on the bar, and prep for a shot using the bar as a support for my weapon.
All right. None of that's going to require a roll. That's all fairly simple. What I am going to do is, because you are basically readying an action, remind me when combat starts, your first shot is going to get a blue bonus die, because you're setting up and you're ready. Very good. Go ahead. Let me move your token. Let me know if this is where you want it to be. But I'm going to have your guy right there in the corner.
You can give access to tokens, by the way.
Oh, let me do that. Sorry.
Is no one...
That's good.
So I go edit token, controlled by. This is going to be John J. Save changes. Great. Let me do now the same for Vex. And for Lorik. Speaking of 41 Vex, do you wish to hide, or do you wish to get ready to fight?
Vex is not a good combat drone, but he will set up a trap.
Ooh. Where do you wish to set up your trap?
I would like to hide in one of the side things.
Yes, there's actually there's a couple places to hide. There's the closet where Oscara currently is. There's also the backstage behind the Twilight Dancer.
This is
Oh, I see. You want to be in that booth? Great.
Yeah. And then I want to basically aim to the middle of the room, so if somebody comes in vision there, I will be able to.
All right.
Shoot.
There are a couple of Aqualish. There's an Aqualish couple who are having a date. They seem very uncomfortable as you kind of move into their booth, but they don't say anything. They don't want any trouble. But they're looking at you very uncomfortably. And like Pash, you will have a bonus die for your attack, which brings us to Lorik. Lorik, what do you wish to do? Do you wish to get ready to fight, or do you wish to hide? I think I know the answer to this, but...
I'm going to be ready to fight. I think I probably set myself at this booth when I first walked in, so I'll just kind of sit there at the ready and be ready to stand up when anyone walks in.
Very good. Let me... This encounter calls for an equal number of Gamorreans to player characters, so now I'm going to add in a 4th Gamorrean. And while I'm doing this, if you look at your tokens, there is a number in the red circle. That is the number of hit points or wounds you can take. The green circle has your strain, or basically the amount of mental or stressful damage you can take. If you take stun damage, that's going to affect your strain. And the number in the blue circle is your soak or armor. Whenever you take damage, you automatically subtract the value of your soak from the damage you take. It's basically everyone has damage reduction. And so just remember that when you take damage. So I'll say like you're going to take X amount of damage. You just remember automatically. Oh yes, for most people, I think you have like 2 soak, 2 or 3 soak. You just automatically deduct that from the damage you take. And with that, let me back to moments after you hide yourselves. A small troop of pig-like Gamorreans carrying heavy bone-breaking clubs step through the door. Teemo's enforcers. They blink their beady little eyes in the gloom, peering about. And then one lets loose a piercing shriek. You were spotted because, well, none of you really hid. You're all there. Things are about to get violent. Now, we're going to move into initiative now, and the way initiative works is slightly different than other games. You actually don't get a set spot. When you roll, you're going to be setting up hero slots and villain slots. Any player can take a hero slot when it comes up. So if you want to change the order in which you go, as long as you're acting in a hero slot, you can go. So you can negotiate with each other and say, like, it would make more sense for Oscar to go first in this case. To roll initiative, everyone has 2 skills. One is called Vigilance. The other is called Cool. You roll that, and you just tell me how many successes you got, and I will use that to determine where the hero slots go in combination with the villain slots. So go ahead and everyone make me a Vigilance or Cool roll. You can choose, usually whichever's higher. It's up to you.
What does it mean if one's check career and one's not?
That only matters for leveling up. Career skills get a discount on XP.
Okay.
That's all that means. So I marked that just in case we ever come back to these characters, but for this game, it's not going to matter.
Mine are the same.
Okay, then you can choose which. Do you wish to act in a cool manner or a vigilant manner? That is your choice.
Follow the rule of cool. I'm a smuggler.
Absolutely, that's excellent choice. Proud of you.
Scoundrel.
Where is that again?
It should be under
So
your
what-
skills.
Under skills.
What are
okay.
we rolling?
You're not going to roll any. You're just going to roll. Usually, you should say if you have like 1 trained or none.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I have 1.
You have 1 trained, so I believe Cool goes off of Presence, and Vigilance goes off of Willpower. So you're going to roll a number of green dice equal to your attribute, be it Willpower or Presence, and then you're going to change one of those to a yellow if you have a trained skill in it.
You said cool was presence?
Cool is Presence.
Okay. So, how many dice? So I got 3 plus the 1 in the skill.
Yeah, and remember that the skill just changes one of those green to a yellow. So if you started with 3 presence and 1 trained, it'll be 1 yellow, 2 green.
1 yellow, 2 green.
Mm-hmm.
And I got an explosion and 2 of the wreaths.
All right, so that's 1 success, and if we have a tie, 2 advantages.
Just to
So
clear.
if you...
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, move your token by the way, Mana.
Oh, hang on a second. So, if I'm using the vigilance and I have 1 vigilance, I have 3 presence. I would do the 2 green, 1 yellow.
Well, vigilance goes off of willpower. What's your willpower at?
Oh, okay. Hang on. Let me get back to
Or
there.
wisdom? Maybe I...
I have. What was it again? Willpower, you said?
Willpower, yes.
Willpower is 2. So does that mean it's
Okay.
only 1 yellow, 1 green?
1 yellow, 1 green. You got it.
Okay. Gotcha. Oops.
I'm going to roll for the Gamorreans as... And you're rolling no purple, none of the bad dice.
Right. Okay. Got it. And I've got my result, which is just 3 advantages.
All right, so that's 0 and 3 for Oscara.
I got 2 explosions.
Ooh, so that'll be 2 for Vex. Vex, I'm sorry, you might get to go first. Lorik, what did you get?
I don't know what I'm supposed to roll.
Okay,
I'm doing willpower, vigilance. I have 2 in willpower and 1 vigilance.
so you're going to roll 1 yellow, 1 green.
Okay. So I got 1 explosion and the wreath thing on the yellow.
Okay.
And then 2 wreath things on the green.
Okay, great. That tells me everything I need to know. So we have 1 villain that's going to go first, then 1 hero, then 2 villain slots, then 2 hero slots.
I think it would make sense for Pash to be in the first hero slot, though. 'Cause
Again,
he
yeah.
is
Mhm.
at the door,
And then,
waiting for them to come into the door.
all right. Well, yeah. Again, you guys can choose what slot to go in. Unfortunately, one of the Gamorreans gets to go first. Oh, sorry. I should. I don't think I don't think I ever gave you control of your token.
Oh,
Let me do that real
actually, I already have it. Don't worry, I can do
Okay.
it. Yep.
There you go. Move you into the closet.
Oh, right. I forgot that I didn't move myself. Oops.
So
And even
one of the Gamorreans is going to run in, but unlike Pash, he is a bit too tubby to just easily vault over the thing. So I'm going to have him make an athletics roll to try and get over, and this is going to be a little hard for him. So I'm rolling. He is actually not trained in athletics, so he is only going to roll his brawn, which is 3 green die. For a hard check, it's going to be against 3 purple. So 3 green against 3 purple. And he got a net threat. So the Gamorrean runs up to that bar, and immediately the bartender bops him over the head with a bottle of wine. And he does not get over the bar to Pash. It's very sad.
I think the Gamorrean says,
all right, and that is the first villain slot. Next, we have a hero slot. Who would like to go first at this moment?
Yeah, I'll take this. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm right there in the action.
Yes, this is a perfect. If you want to use your blaster, this is a perfect time to use it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's like basically incapacitated trying to get over this bar. Plus,
Yeah.
I was ready for him anyway.
Exactly. So remember, you have a boost die. So you're going to roll your. If you're using blaster, that goes off of agility, and you're going to roll your skill in either light or heavy range, depending on what type of weapon you're using. I think for you, you have a light blaster.
Yeah, light blaster, light range. So I have
Okay.
1 skill, 1 yellow, and then my agility's 3, so I have 2
Mhm.
plus a.
A bonus die. And because you're at short range, this is an easy shot. You're only rolling against 1 purple. This is
So against 1.
not good for that Gamorrean.
And I had got 3 successes and an advantage.
Okay.
And
Here's
then
how.
it doesn't show me what the purple means.
Did it come up blank?
It didn't come up blank, but it didn't like transition it down to the. It came up with 2 circles, but I did roll 3 wreaths.
Okay, so
2
that-
gears versus 3 wreaths, but.
Okay.
And then on
that- yeah.
my blaster, it says crits on 3 advantage.
Yeah, so let me explain how that works. So, advantages you can use for a couple of things. Like if you're 2-weapon fighting, you can use advantage to trigger the damage on the second weapon. You can also use it to crit. All your weapons should have a damage value and how many advantage it needs to trigger the crit. I have a table of wonderful critical things, like you can blind an opponent. You can make their skill checks harder on a crit. Crits don't usually mean extra damage, they just mean like extra status effects. So you don't get enough to crit, but the way damage works is every success you get adds to your damage. So what is your base damage?
My base damage is 6.
6. You got 3 successes, so that bumps it up to 9. The Gamorrean has a soak of 3, so that takes 3 off your damage, so that's down to a 6. Unfortunately for this Gamorrean, he only has 6 hit points. You just describe for me, Yoda, what happens when you shoot this Gamorrean?
Well, as he gets like beat down onto the counter, I'm just gonna go press my blaster right up to his head and pull the trigger. It's too easy for me.
Yes, the camera, of course, pulls away before you actually pull the trigger, but you hear the blaster shot and a loud thud as the Gamorrean crumples to the floor.
And then I'm going to taunt the other Gamorreans. Yeah, who wants some?
Okay. You can make a roll for that if you want. If you want to use coercion to try and intimidate them, or to taunt them to have them come at you, your choice. You can make a roll for that if you want.
I'd like to intimidate. So what would that be? I don't
So
have
look
any.
under your skills. Coercion, I believe, goes off of presence as well.
Coercion's willpower. I do have charm.
Oh,
though.
it's willpower. Okay, charm is usually used to get someone to like you and do what you want. Coercion is used to kind of like, use your,
So I have then just 2 because I have 2 willpower.
Okay, so yeah, roll 2 green die against 2 purple die. This is an average check.
Average check. I
And
have
you know what,
a.
Sorry, add a bonus die to that because you did just kill one of them in one shot.
Okay.
That's got to count for something.
And the
so
bonus
2
dice, the blue one.
The blue one, yes.
Okay. I got a failure, but with 2 advantages.
Okay, so the Gamorreans are not intimidated, but you have 2 advantages. Now, you can hang on to those yourselves and use those to turn into boost die later on. You can also give those to the party and say, here are 2 floating advantages, and we'll determine what those advantages are later. Maybe the Gamorreans aren't scared away yet, but maybe they're having some doubts. We'll see. That can be used by the party, though.
Very cool.
It's your choice, Posh.
Yeah, I think I'll give them to the party because.
Okay.
Yeah, I failed, so they're probably focusing all their attention on me. So I would provide advantage to the rest of the party.
Okay.
Nice. Thank you.
Great. So next we have 2 villain slots. Now these Gamorreans only have clubs, so they can't really.
And I'm ducking down.
Oh yeah.
After I choke, I'm like.
So what the first Gamorrean is going to do is he's going to run over to this table over here, and he's going to spend his turn. He's going to latch onto it with his big meaty hands, and he's going to try and wrench that table out of its socket. Make a quick. This is just going to be a straight brawn roll. This isn't a very high-end canteen. Nothing's really that steady, so he got a success and some advantages. So he has this table hefted high above his head, and he's getting ready on his next turn to throw it at somebody. That's his turn. The other one, he kind of saw what happened to his friend. So he knows getting too close to Pash is probably a bad idea. He is going to run around to this other end of the bar, and he is going to try and hop over. Again, this is not going to probably go terribly well for him. But let's see what happens. No successes, but 2 advantages. So I'm going to say he's going to use those 2 advantages. He's going to take cover over here in the corner, and he's going to wait. Next up, basically we have 3 hero slots in a row. So whoever wants to go next can go next.
I'll go next.
All right. What? Go for it.
I want to pull out my blaster and just walk forward and aim at the guy that picked up the table and fire at him.
Okay. So yeah, that's going to be your agility upgraded by whatever skill you have in your light ranged or heavy ranged. What kind of blaster are you using?
I believe it's a light range blaster pistol.
All right. So that'll be use that light range skill.
So that's 1 in agility.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have 3 for agility.
So yeah, that'll be 1 yellow and 2 green. You're at about medium range away, so that'll be an average check 2 purple.
2 purple, got it.
Didn't he get a bonus die as well?
That's right. I forgot. Add in a blue die.
Ooh, yay.
My bad.
Okay, so I got the upside down triangle thing and 4 wreaths for my results.
So that's a failure and 2 advantages. So you missed with your shot, but you still get 2 advantages. What would you like those advantages to be? And it can be, like, again, you can maybe set him off balance. You could maybe force him to drop the table.
I want to force him to drop the table.
All right, so you don't hit the Gamorrean, but you hit the table, and that unbalances enough that it goes toppling behind him. And he lets out kind of a sad grunt, like, "Oh, I was going to do something cool with that." So now he no longer has a table. Good job, Vex.
I also wanted to move forward if I could do that.
You absolutely. In terms of actions, every action you can do any number of incidentals or like quick actions. You can do 1 maneuver and 1 action. Actions being like shooting, using a skill, something like that. Maneuvers is just moving around. So where would you like to move to?
I just want to just kind of move forward a little bit. Maybe just here.
Perfect. All right. That'll work. Oh, sorry, Lorik. Sorry, I said Vex earlier. Sorry about that. All right. 2 more hero slots. So who wants to go next?
I would like to go.
Go for it.
Okay, one question first. How well is the Gamorrean in the top corner? How well is he covered from my position?
If you try to shoot at him, you'll have to roll 1 black setback die.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I will move out of my corner and I will shoot at him.
Go for it. Again, that's agility plus your skill in light blasters. Or light ranged.
Yeah. I got 2 agility and 1 ranged.
Okay, so that's 1 yellow, 1 green. You get 1 blue for readying an action earlier. And then you're going to be firing against 2 purple and 1 black.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna roll.
Go for it.
I get 1 explosion and 1 Death Star-like thing. Don't know what it is.
Okay, so that's 1 success and 1 threat. So
Okay.
that means you hit.
Cool.
Now what's the damage on your blaster?
Damage on my blaster was 5.
5 damage. You got 1 success, so that's a total of 6 damage. And let's see, let me select the Gamorrean here. So they have a soak of 3. So 6 minus 3, you do 3 damage, so they're down to 3 health now. So you wound the Gamorrean. Now that threat, there are a couple things you can do with threat. You can either take an ongoing setback on your next turn. You can take a bit of strain damage, like just like taking the shot for whatever reason you had to really stress yourself to get into position. Or there can be an environmental effect, like maybe the threat could be that Gamorrean now, he sees that you took a shot at him, and he's very angry at you, and he's going to come at you next turn.
Yeah, I will take that
There
one.
you go.
Yeah.
I like it.
Can I also use an advantage to how do advantage the thing
Well,
work?
advantages and threats cancel out. So if you got how many wreaths did you get, and how many threats or the Death Star things did you get?
Just 1.
Just 1. So actually, those should have canceled out if you had 1 of each.
Okay.
So you just
Yeah.
got 1 success. That's fine. So then that Gamorrean then did not particularly notice you. You know he got shot, but he's not coming for you next turn.
Okay, cool.
Cool. All right, that just leaves Oscara.
Indeed. Okay, so I actually want to do something here. While I'm in the closet, I want to see if there's anything that would be convenient to basically chuck as a distraction, so that I can point my blaster out at the Gamorrean that is over right across, just to the east of Pash.
Gotcha. All right. That sounds to me like you want to make a perception check. So perception, I believe, goes off of cunning.
Okay.
So roll your cunning upgraded by whatever skill you have in perception.
Okay, so I have 1 cunning and my perception is 1. So what does that mean?
That means you'll roll 1 yellow die.
Just 1 yellow die. Okay.
Fortunately, this is an easy check, so you're rolling against 1 purple.
Okay, so I need to do 1 purple, 1 yellow.
Yes.
And I have gotten so 1 success and 2 disadvantages. So I
All right.
so I would say so this is
wait.
just applying to the throwing, right?
No, this is for you finding something that'll be a good distraction.
Oh,
so
okay.
you succeeded. You found something to be. What? Tell me, man. What did you find that'll be a good distraction? Or I can come up with something if you want.
I mean,
but if you have an idea, go for it.
Well, let me just share 2 really bizarre ideas, and then you
Okay,
can
hit
tell
me
me if you have something better. But the first idea was that the thing that I found was like basically one of those tin cans of tomato sauce that like basically looked like it had kind of been bent. You know how they say don't use tin cans that are bent because they'll be rancid
Yes.
and everything? So that was my first thought, is that I could not only throw this, but it would like splatter and look like blood and be like disgustingly smelly.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first thought. The other thought was a little more intense, which was like maybe because this is a cantina on Tatooine, they happen to have like some small like flashbang kind of grenade-y type things in their closet because one ought to.
It's a dangerous
Tatooine.
place.
Right.
Tell you what, how about this? A compromise. They don't have grenades per se, but they do have an old holographic projector that is clearly damaged and would probably produce a lot of smoke if you turned it on and threw it out.
Oh, I like
Would that be a
this
good
idea.
compromise?
I
Okay.
absolutely, and I think that the threats then is that like it also is going to obscure my vision.
I like it.
Okay, cool.
So what this is going to mean mechanics-wise is it's going to kind of be a wash. Or, no, we'll do this. You get a bonus die for them being distracted. You're also going to get a setback die to your roll because the smoke is kind of obscuring your vision. So I'm not going to have you roll to throw. This is all going to be part of that successful roll you made. So you find this thing, you turn it on. The holographic display tries to come to life. It flickers a bit and is shooting out some light. But smoke, thick, oily smoke, immediately begins pouring out of it. So, from everyone else's perspective, from this closet, just smoke, black smoke comes billowing out with a pair of legs running underneath it, and you hurl it at that Gamorrean. And they are not ready for it at all. So now you're open to take your shot. So yeah, go ahead and give me a. Now I think you have a heavy blaster.
I do.
If I'm not mistaken.
I do. Yeah.
So you'll be using your.
Can I check that to be certain? I'm pretty sure I do.
Yes. Go for it.
Where do I check that?
It should be under your
my-
equipment.
Uh,
Towards the bottom, I think.
Let me just make sure of this. I don't want to do something wrong here. So equipment.
No
I have. It says blaster carbine, medium range. Oh, and ranged heavy. There we go. It's
There
heavy.
you go.
Yeah.
So it's going to be your agility, upgraded by however many skill you have in ranged heavy.
So I have in ranged heavy. It looks like 2.
Oh, great! I forget you're the combat monster.
Awesome.
So
I
that's
have
going to
that.
be 2 yellow
Mhm.
and 1 green.
Okay.
This is at medium range. So you're adding the blue die for the distraction, but you're rolling against 2 purple and 1 black.
Okay. So I have 2 yellow, 1 green, 1 blue, 1 black, and 2 purple.
You got it.
Okay. Wow, that's a lot of dice. What do I have? Okay. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh, this is exciting. Okay, so I have 2 successes, and then I have a net of 1 advantage, and then I also have a triumph.
A triumph. Our first triumph.
Yay!
Wonderful. So triumphs are your critical successes. You can use triumphs to do a number of things. For low-level enemies, you can use them just to kill them automatically if you want to be boring. You can also use it to roll a crit result on the crit table, and add some kind of status effect to the enemy. You can also just use it to have something really good happen to you.
So
If you can think of something, it's a critical success. So Again, you can use it to outright kill a low-level, and these are kind of low-level minions.
Right.
So you could kill this one guy outright if you want. You could go for a crit, or just something really fancy could happen.
I mean, is it possible?
Maybe everyone sees and starts applauding. I don't know.
all of the monsters are like, yay! So could I do something like this? Could I have, obviously, I blast in the dark, or in the smoke rather, and get the Gamorrean that's across from Pash. Can I then actually, would this work? Could I, like, because I'm a trained bounty hunter, can I dart out, and there's that one Gamorrean that crossed the bar, and I presumably saw them do that because I was in this closet looking. Could I, like, jump over the bar and basically take them down, like, with a throat choke, and just get, like, perfectly aimed to see the last Gamorrean that's in the doorway? And that way, all the threats for Vex and Lorik and Pash are kind of eliminated from that Gamorrean in the back corner.
Okay, let me just double check, make sure I understand what you're asking. So you want to do damage as normal to the Gamorrean you're shooting at, but use your Triumph to do a sick flip and then like roundhouse kick or choke out the Gamorrean that's like right next to you.
Exactly.
That will actually work because you're doing okay. So the Triumph you're using to take out the Gamorrean right across from you, and we'll just resolve damage as normal for that Gamorrean. So you got 2 successes.
Mm-hmm.
What is the damage on your carbine?
It is 9.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's 11 damage going at this Gamorrean here. He has a soak of 3. So that's now going to reduce 11 back down to 8. He's dead. And then you come out of this closet, you flip around, and you are just going to use that Triumph to automatically take out... Oh, there we go. Take out that other Gamorrean. You wrap an arm around his neck, he squeals, he thrashes for a few seconds, and then goes limp. He is also unconscious. Not dead, but unconscious.
And I think...
My goodness.
I think Ascara has to say something like...
Give me a one-liner.
Oh, you sleazy pigs, you do not try to tempt me.
Very good. So that leaves this lone Gamorrean all by himself. He looks at his options. He sees a smuggler who just one-shotted one of his friends. He sees a Twi'lek bounty hunter who took out 2 of his friends at once. He sees the Wookiee and says, none of these look like great options, but I didn't see the Wookiee kill anybody, so he's going to run up and he is going to try and engage in melee with Lorik. Possibly a terrible decision, but he doesn't have great options. So the way melee works, melee is always an average check. So he's going to roll his skill. He has 3 brawn and 1 skill in melee. I'm going to give him a setback die just because of the height difference between him and Lorik.
I'm big.
So let's see how this goes. Oh, good. He got a success and a threat.
Oh.
So he does actually manage to score a hit on Lorik. Now, the club he's using has a base damage of 5. And he got 1 success. So that's 6 damage before soak. What is your soak, Lorik? So you're going to take 2 damage. And I believe you have like the highest HP of anyone in the group. So
that's wound threshold, right?
Wound threshold, yeah. So off the red.
18.
Now you're down to 18, yeah. So you're doing fine. That was a tickle. And now we go back to the top of the initiative. That villain slot is gone because they are dead. It is now a hero slot. Who would like to go next?
I would like to go first.
Go for it.
I would like to step from behind Lorik, point my light blaster at him, and I want to first try to threaten him from not a smart thing. No, not smart thing.
Mm-hmm.
You
So
are.
you're- Oh, go for it. Yeah.
You are. What's the word? Jesus, my English is sucking today. You are. Sorry, I can't get the word.
That's okay.
Basically saying that he's you are outnumbered, and then I want to blast him.
Well, here's a question. Before you blast him, do you want to try and intimidate him first? You have that opportunity. You can use an incidental action to try and, if you want to get him to flee, it's up to you. Or you can just shoot him.
Yeah, I do want to. Yeah, I do want to.
Just shoot him. Okay. Then again, like before, roll your blaster skill.
No,
You are very close.
I do
So-
want to say that he's
Oh.
that I want to try to intimidate him.
Oh, you do want to intimidate him. Okay. So what is this is coercion. It goes off of presence. What is your presence?
Coercion goes off from willpower.
Oh,
My
it goes off.
willpower
Oh,
is
sorry.
one.
What's your willpower?
1.
All right. Do you have any skill in coercion?
No.
Okay. So it's 1 green, and I'm going to say this guy is not in a great place, so it's going to be an easy check to intimidate him at this point. He's down. He's the last man. He just tried to attack a Wookiee and basically nicked him. So it'll be 1 green and 1 purple.
Okay, cool. I got an explosion thing.
Oh, a success. Good.
Yeah, and no, not the purple is nothing.
Okay. Good job. Your cold, the cold logic of your metallic voice gets through to the Gamorrean, and he realizes he's just, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than to die. So, with that, with a squeal, he drops his club and he flees the cantina. Congratulations, you solved my cantina puzzle.
And the music begins playing again, right?
Yeah, it does. And give me a second to bring up the next bit of this encounter.
I want to glare at Vex and tell him he lost me my kill.
Ooh. Nice.
I was gonna try and take a shot at him as he was running.
I wanted to put my hands on him.
So now everyone in the group is grumpy because they all wanted the Gamorrean.
Oh. Okay,
Although
that's-
actually Oscara is really thrilled right now because that went really well.
Yeah. Good
But
job.
more importantly, I'm gonna start searching their pockets for any loose credits.
Ooh, but they can-
Unfortunately, these Gamorreans, so what they keep in their pocket is loose bits of beef jerky, and we'll say there's
useful.
a couple of loose credits,
I'll take some beef jerky.
enough to maybe buy yourself a drink at the bar. So anyway,
or
the
pay for
Gamorreans
the
are
damage.
that too maybe. So the Gamorreans are defeated. The silence that follows is broken by a slow, unamused applause. The Deveronian bartender approaches and laughs a brittle little laugh. I guess you're the folks who need to get off the planet in a hurry. The good news for you is that I happen to know of a little hot tip if you're interested. Is anybody interested?
I do not think that staying here is beneficial for our cause.
What my
Well-
droid is trying to say is that yes, we are interested.
Well, there's
Yeah.
good news for you then, friend. I happen to know that there's a freighter in Landing Bay, Auric right now. The bad news is, its captain, Trex, is an associate of the Hutts and won't just let you on. The other bad news is that the reason I know it's still in Landing Bay is that it has a broken hypermatter reactor igniter, and it won't be flying anywhere until it gets a new one. However, if you guys know Vaughn, the guy who runs the junk shop, I think he has just one left. Then he points at the door. Now get out of my cantina!
Whatever you say, we weren't going to drink here anyway.
Well, I was going
Oh.
to give him the credits, but I throw them in my pocket.
All right,
Don't act like that.
I'll take your credits.
Yeah, no, I throw them in my pocket and I start walking.
Your credits are still good. All right. Now, did anyone take any? I think the only person who took any damage was Lorik.
Yes, I just took the
Vex.
damage.
if you want, you can make a medicine check and try and help him recover some of his lost hit points, if you wish.
I would like to do that.
All right. That's going to be using your medicine skill. That takes your intellect attribute in green die, and you upgrade it with the number of dice you have in medicine.
Yeah, I got 2 in intellect, 4 in intellect, and 2 in medicine.
So you're going to be rolling 2 yellow, 2 green, against an average of 2 purple dice. This is a fairly standard medicine check.
Okay. I got 2 explosions.
2 successes. Every success heals a hit point. I think you only took 2 damage, Lorik, so you're back up to full health.
Thank you,
Nice.
my good droid.
And check all of your inventories. I think each of you has at least 1 stim pack. Stim packs are kind of on-the-go little healing potions. If it ever during combat you take a lot of damage and you want to get some back, I believe the base healing is 4 hit points, and every additional stim pack you take is slightly less effective, so it'll go 4 hit points. The second one will heal 3, the third one will heal 2, and so on.
Awesome.
We shouldn't need that many, but
Mm-hmm.
that's also an option for healing.
Good to know.
All right.
Yeah.
So
I got a quick question.
Oh, yes, please.
Skullduggery. What would I use that for?
Skullduggery is basically any kind of criminal act. Skullduggery falls under stealing, sleight of hand, trying to set a trap, trying to. I've even let players use it for like knowing certain things about different criminal organizations. It's your general underhanded ability thing. So let's actually transition to the next map as we leave the cantina. And then, do I need to redrop in the tokens?
No,
Or is there a way
actually,
to transfer
we should
them?
just move the players. Oh, and actually, I'll do it. We're going to the Moshuta streets, right?
Moshuta Streets. That
And
is
there we
correct.
go.
Thank you, Hannah.
And as that loads in, we should see all of the characters have arrived somewhere.
All right. So towards the bottom is the cantina. So if people want to drop themselves there. You can see just to the north of there is the junk shop that the bartender mentioned that has that part that the ship needs. I'm also going to say, Pash, something you know from flying freighters. All ships in the landing bay have docking clamps that are put into place as a security measure. If you want to steal that ship, you're going to have to go to the spaceport control at the very north of the map and either convince them to undo the docking clamps or use some underhanded tactics to somehow get those locks open. Otherwise, your ship isn't going anywhere, unfortunately. So where would
I
you
want
guys
to do that before? Well, everybody else goes to the junk shop.
You could split up to handle this if you want, or you could stick together. It's up to you guys.
Would I know how much? Would I know how well the streets are patrolled by the thugs
Um,
of the hut?
you know the streets well enough that you are pretty confident, just moving around town, that you could stick to the alleyways and shadows and avoid most of the thugs. You do know that the Space Sports Center also has a pair of security droids who guard the entrance. So even though the officials and techs who run the spaceport probably would be intimidated by a blaster, the droids are not, unfortunately. So you may want some backup unless you're feeling particularly confident about sneaking in.
Yeah.
So up to you guys. You can stick together and head to the junk shop, or you could head to the spaceport controls first. It's up to you. The junk shop, you know, it's run by an old man named who has an astromech droid that he's constantly berating for not doing what he tells it to do. So that might be a simpler task to tackle first, but you know, it's up to you guys. What is the party consensus?
I
Definitely
can't
think
find
it's
my
good.
token, but
Just drag it in from the characters on the side panel. Do you want me to drag yours in? Here, I'll go ahead and do it.
yeah,
There you go.
Awesome.
I'll delete that one then. I don't have control over it now, though.
Oh,
Let me.
here.
I also
goofed.
don't see the side panel.
You always have a side panel from Roll20.
What?
It's where the chat is. Only you select the characters, which is the third of the tabs.
Second for players.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, second for players.
Second, the folded paper, basically.
Yep. Looks like a newspaper there, Zizal.
I don't know how to actually select it. Though.
Okay.
Like I can't drag him or anything.
Oh, really?
I could.
Go for it.
How about if I just do this, and then I've dragged you there, and then do you have
There we go.
control of that, Zizal?
If not, I can add that.
And we're on the canteen.
No,
right
I
now.
do not.
You do not. So okay, yeah. If you wouldn't mind, Dash.
There we go. That should be now under Owl's control.
Okay,
I
cool.
think if we go this way, might be better to sneak up the back alley.
There you go.
Ooh,
Smart
good thinking.
thinking. And you're heading for the junk shop?
Yeah.
All right.
That is unusually clever of you, Pash.
So,
Usually clever.
come on, give me some credit.
Give me
All right. So, the junk shop is immediately obvious by the scrapyard adjoining the low pour stone building. As you step inside, you see a hunched old human male lurking behind a low counter covered with disassembled droid and machine parts. The man glances up at you, then turns to a garbage can-shaped R5 droid standing at his side. He kicks the droid and shrieks, "You're supposed to tell me when I have customers, you bucket of bolts! Now go outside and finish stripping that speeder bike wreck!" The droid trundles off with a surly beep, and the man turns to you. "Welcome, customers! As you can see," he points to the racks and shelves and enormous buckets full of scrap metal and parts, "I have anything you could want for the right price." So, how do you guys want to... You're looking for that hypermatter reactor. Now you could use a number of your social skills, charm, or other ones to try and negotiate with him. But how do you want to try and...
I do have a lot of charm.
That might...
I should use my charm.
Oh, yeah. The Wookiee. The face of the group. The baby face. All right. Well, who would like to talk to Vorn, the shop owner?
I figure I'd do it. I'd be like, looking for a hypermatter injector.
Oh, yes. The Sinar Hypermatter Reactor Igniter. I've got some sad news for you, friend. I do, in fact, have one of those in stock. Unfortunately, a very dangerous and ornery Trandoshan Trex has already paid for the part. I'm afraid...
I despise the
I'm gonna be
Trandoshans.
like,
If you are willing to pay me, say, a sum of 700 credits, I might be able to cover the... that might convince me to forget about the order that Trex put in.
How about
And he
old
gives you
man?
yeah.
At the-
Or
About-
and I'm gonna bluff him. Or you know that you know who I work for, who I fly for, right?
Mm.
Who do you work for, friend?
Yeah, I'm like, what's the Hut's name again?
Timo.
Oh, Chimo?
I'm Timo's like ace pilot, and my freighter is down from my last run, and
Oh.
Timo would be really mad if I can't
All
get
right.
on this next run.
If I could also,
This-
as Oscara, there's something I think that my character has to do, and that is to step in real close. As you might know, the Twi'leks and the Trandoshans do not have a very positive relationship, and so
No, they do not.
yes. So I think that at this point I would come in and say, "Listen, old man, if I could tell you half the things the Trandoshans have done to my people, you would not do business with them either. Trust me." And then I kind of, just take my blaster out. I'm not necessarily totally threatening this man because,
Yeah, Yeah.
he is kind of helpful, but I'm definitely making it known that I'm kind of in a position of power here.
Sure.
Yeah.
So just so I can set the scene, basically you're playing good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
on this poor old man,
Yep.
with Pash being charming, like, of course I work for Timo. Don't you want to make Timo happy? And Oscar is just kind of looming overhead. I picture Oscar. She's pretty tall and stocky, for a
Yep.
Twi'lek. She cuts a very imposing and just kind of looms over Vorn.
Yeah.
So here's how this is going to work. Pash is trying to deceive Vorn. So this is a deception roll. So Pash, you're going to roll your deception skill, which I believe is your cunning plus your ranks in deception. And you're going to be rolling an opposed check against Vorn's discipline. And you're going to get a boost die from Oscara helping you.
Okay.
Awesome.
So what's your cunning?
My cunning is 3, and my deception is 1.
So 1 yellow, 2 green, and 1 blue. Now Vorn, because he's he's a rival, is the designation. He actually gets to upgrade one of his purple to a red. So you're gonna roll against 1 red and 1 purple for this check.
All right. And I have 2 successes and an advantage coming out of this.
Oh, well done. Yeah,
Vorn, got 2.
Vorn is eating out of your hand. Oh, you work for Timo the Hutt? Well, of course I don't want to make Timo upset. 1 second. And he yells out for that droid. Droid! Fetch the hypermatter reactor! No, ignore that speeder crash. I gave you an order. And moments later, the droid comes out, and it's holding a, it's what Star Wars tech looks like. It's a big box with tubes all over it, and it's maybe a couple lights glowing faintly on and off. And he hands you over the part free of cost. Do put in a good word to Timo for me, won't you? I wouldn't mind doing more business for the Hutt. Yes, sirree.
You have made a good decision.
Before I
old
leave,
man.
I want to glance around to see if I see anything that would help me deal with the droids.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Perception, which is...
It's under cunning.
Cunning plus... I don't have anything in perceptions, so
it's just going to be your 3 green, I believe.
3 green.
It'll be an average 2 purple.
2 purple. I got a failure.
Sorry, you see a lot of it. It's mainly junk in here. Nothing that'll be more effective than your blaster. Very sorry. You get the idea that hypermatter reactor was probably the one thing of value this guy had at the moment.
Poor guy. I mean, it is a Tatooine junkyard, so...
It's a Tatooine junkyard, if you're wanting to make a sculpture out of old droid parts, he's your guy. So unfortunately, nothing else. Anything else the rest of you would like to do while you're in the junk shop?
Is there... And this is where I'm actually going to just ask a little bit of a leading question here, but is there anything...
By all means.
That, can I, find something to upgrade my weapons or armor, or is there some way to, is there some kind of advantage here that I could use as a bounty hunter?
Okay. Do the same. Make me an average perception check.
Okay, so that was perception skill is right. So I have 1, and then
1, and you have your cunning, which I think you said was a 2.
I have cunning is 1 as well.
Okay, so it's 1 yellow against 2 purple.
Okay, and I get ooh.
Uh-oh.
Oh no! What have I done? I have literally only.
That's Star Wars.
Oh no! I have one threat and one disadvantage.
One failure and one
I
disadvantage.
mean, one.
you
Yeah, excuse me. One.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't find anything, and then something goes wrong. You can suggest what goes wrong, but I know I have an idea right off the bat.
I bet we're probably thinking similar things, so I will leave it to
Hit
you.
me up. Hit me up. Okay. I was thinking that while you're poking around, basically you knock something loose and a big avalanche of parts goes spilling onto the floor.
Oh, I don't know. Would
Maybe
Ascara
hitting-
do that? I think Ascara is too cool for that. Like
Too cool for that?
I think she's. I think.
What was your idea?
I was gonna say that basically the man at this point is kind of, because I've already been sort of threatening to him. He's not very pleased with me, and is basically at this point losing
window
his
shopping!
patience. Yeah, basically losing his patience, and like I'm
Buy
not helping
something
you.
or get out!
Right, I've already given you something for free. Like no more.
What more do you want?
Exactly. So.
I'm an
Technically,
proprietor.
the part was paid for, just not for by us.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Trex
Yeah.
covered the payment, obviously.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay, so yeah, he just kind of, he does that thing, when someone wants you to leave their shop, they just kind of keep following you around like, well, you gonna buy something or what?
Exactly.
I ain't got all afternoon.
Yep. So I don't find anything, and I say, "That's
Sorry.
fine, old man. I do not need anything else." There's a word
Right
in there
back
somewhere.
at ya.
Yeah. Oh. All right. So I think I kind of walk over to the others. Are we all in the junk shop, or is it just Pash and I?
think-
That depends. Go
I
for it.
think when I heard the name Trandoshan, I went outside and I'm waiting for a Trandoshan to come by.
Right.
Yeah, Wookiees kind of have even a bigger reason to hate Trandoshans.
Okay. Nobody
A
likes
little
the
bit of Star
Trandoshans.
Wars. Well, they're slavers. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And they specifically enslave Wookiees, and I think some Twi'leks as well.
Yep.
They're not terribly nice people.
Yeah. So
I
okay.
would
So
follow
Lizard people.
Lowrick.
so then in that case, I'll just
Lorik's
turn.
outside taking a deep breath.
Yep. So I'm with Pash, and I'll walk over to Pash, and I'll just say, I think we've lost our good graces. It's time to go. No?
Yeah, I think that would be best. Let's get down to the starport.
I shall follow your
All
lead,
right.
Pash.
So you guys are heading to the starship control, or
Yeah.
spaceport control. I can use words. So let's actually transition to the next map,
Okay.
which is actually the
Some
interior.
chit chat while we were walking. I was going to be like,
Oh, while we
yeah.
transition, chit chat, please. If you want to have a
So-
character moment.
"Well, Skara, haven't seen you in a while."
This is true. I have been busy many missions away from Tatooine.
Yeah, maybe when we get out of here, I could buy you a drink. We could catch up for old times.
Pash, you've always been, how shall I say, kind, but I do not drink with strangers.
I'm not a stranger. I'm Pash.
Tell me, remind me again, what was your last mission? How did it go?
We're not gonna worry about that one.
I see. So, that well, huh?
Wasn't my fault.
How much of that cargo did you lose?
All of it.
I remember Timo was not very pleased with any of us after that. Do you know how hard it is to work for that slug?
Exactly. That's why we need a drink.
Well, perhaps you're right, but not now. Let's get on with this mission, shall we?
All right, I've already dropped the tokens into where I'm currently dropping. Oops, too many tokens.
These are already there.
That's generous.
Hey, thanks so much, Kaylin. I appreciate that.
Hi, Mana. D.
All right. So now we are at. Oops. Shoot.
Oh.
I have your tokens in on the spaceport control map.
Oh, spaceport control map over. I see. There we go.
Yeah.
I do not have control.
Oh, sorry. Let me do that
Error.
real
Error.
quick.
Error.
Give me a couple of.
You are a good droid. I like this.
Loving it. So good. So good. All right. And Posh, let me get you control over.
I'm going to audition for
Yoda.
next Star Wars as a droid.
Yeah.
Do it, man. Do it. All right. Everyone should now have control of their tokens. So, and I have the opening blurb. So the spaceport control facility is a low, squat building clinging to the edge of the most Shuta bluff. The front entrance stands open, but a pair of spaceport security droids stand at attention. If you're going to get off Tatooine, you need to disable the docking clamps holding the Crate Fang in its landing bay. And you can only do that inside that spaceport control facility. You have to either get past those droids somehow, or find another way in. So, I'll say, Pash, you are very familiar with the spaceport facility. You've been here a couple times. You do know there is a side entrance which opens to basically an employee break room. That would help you get past the droids. However, it is locked with a fairly, for Mashuda, fairly advanced locking system. In terms of the greater galaxy, probably not that great, but it's more advanced than a simple tumbler lock. So
Yeah.
those are your options for getting in.
I think I'd like to try my hand at the lock, because
All right.
shooting a bunch of droids doesn't sound like a good plan.
And these droids, these are not your Clone War era battle droids. These look like some fairly beefy Imperial units.
Mm-hmm.
So
They probably have radios on them.
probably have radios, and you do know there's a number of spaceport droids. While there are 2 here, there could be more on the way if you guys aren't careful. So that's a good point. So in the upper right-hand corner of the map, you'll see that's labeled side entrance. So if you want to drag yourself up there, let me look up and see what the difficulty is for the side entrance.
And this would be skullduggery, right?
It'll be skullduggery, or you can use computers if that's easier for you. It's up to you. I believe you, though, are trained in skullduggery, so...
Skullduggery.
All right.
Probability to beat the battle droids, 10%.
Yes.
Roger. Wait, no,
I have,
specifically
I
said that
have
we're not
used
close
this door in the past. Maybe
Ooh,
sneaking a lady from the bar onto my ship when it was docked here.
Oh, so
you
know
know that's a very good point, and that sounds like a total Pash move. You're looking for a bonus die, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll give you a bonus die on this. Yeah, you're familiar
Nice.
with this lock. Hello again, old friend.
Cash cracks his fingers, and what am I going up against?
It'll be an average check, so 2 purples.
2 purples. And Pash cracks his knuckles and gets out his digital lockpicks
Mm-hmm.
and begins slicing the lock.
Okay.
And I got an advantage. Everything else cancels.
An advantage. Okay, so technically you didn't get the lock open, but I'm going to say as at least part of that advantage, you did not trigger any alarms. You didn't cause anything to go wrong. How about this? You'll still get it open. It'll take you some time, and maybe one of your friends needs to run a distraction while you're taking longer to get the lock open. Who would like to run this distraction? Because you hear the sound of
I would have figured somebody would be coming to check on the lock.
I think maybe you guys hear some mechanical servos whirring as one of those droids is taking one of his pre-programmed patrols around the building.
I'll run a distraction.
Very good. How are you going to distract this single droid who is walking around the building?
Well, I can, run into him a little forcefully.
Ooh, maybe get angry at this droid.
Yeah.
Okay. This sounds like this is definitely going to be a roll. I think this is going to be a deception roll. Unless you can think of a different skill that would maybe be more appropriate. I'd also allow a skullduggery if you want, since you're.
I wouldn't
Not
say
coercion.
deception. I would say intimidation.
Oh, you want to? So you're doing a full rookie roar in the droid's face, threaten to tear his arms off. Okay.
Like what I am seeing is Chewbacca yelling at the freaking mouse droid here.
Yes. So yeah, give me a coercion check. That'll be off of willpower, I think.
Yes.
Yes. Willpower plus your coercion skill, and this is against 2 purple with a bonus die because you're a Wookiee.
All right. So I have 2 willpower, and then I have 1 point in coercion.
So that's 1 yellow, 1 green, 1 blue against 2 purple.
Okay, so I got 2 successes and 3 threat.
Okay. Okay. You have definitely intimidated this droid. But things don't go exactly according to plan. How do they not go according to plan? If you want to suggest something, you can. Again, you could always take the threats as strain damage. That'll be 3 strain off of your total fatigue. Or, maybe in the process of this argument, the droid is very apologetic and wants you to log this incident and is going to basically require you to stay out here with the droid for a longer amount of time while it handles the bureaucracy of this incident.
That's probably going to be it.
All right. There you go. So the droid begins to apologize, says, according to protocol 31B, we must log this incident. I will need your name, date of birth, planet of origin. It just keeps rattling on all these things. And but the good news is, while this is happening, Pash, you get the door open. And the rest of you can follow him inside into that employee break room. It's, there's some... there's a radio playing, maybe it's a talk show host or something going on, or maybe it's just some quiet music playing. And there is a door there, and it's currently open, actually. It's slightly ajar. And if you want, you can peek around the corner and get a look into the main control room. Go ahead and give me a... Actually, no need for perception. Because as soon as you peek in, you note that everyone, there's basically a woman. Pash, you recognize her as Overseer Bryn, the woman in charge of the spaceport control. She's at a terminal, and there are 2 techs who are also working at the computers.
So, do me and Overseer Bryn get along?
I'm going to say no.
No.
She's a very serious, career-oriented woman. She usually views your aunt as beneath her. And she's
trying
currently...
to hit on her a couple times at the local cantina. Didn't work out so well.
She's not into that. But she's currently standing below, in front of a holo display showing a plot of the local aerospace. She's got her arms folded behind her back, and she appears to be, in charge. And she speaks into a headset in a very formal, commanding tone. Imperial Shuttle Lambda 11238. This is Overseer Bryn with Spaceport Control. You are cleared for landing. Welcome to Mos Shuta. And again, there's a couple of techs of different species. There's an Aqualish, maybe a Nikto or something. He's working at the consoles. And again, there's another pair of security droids near the doorway. Your attention is pulled to the floor-to-ceiling transparent steel windows against the far wall, looking out over the desert of Tatooine, where you actually see an Imperial Lambda-class shuttle is coming in for a landing at the opposite landing bay, Besh.
Okay.
So you guys right now are hidden. No one is aware that you are there.
So we're still in that side entrance, right?
You're still in that employee break room.
Kind of want to hold up for this next part of the plan until the Wookiee gets back.
So I'm assuming you're all basically stacked up Scooby-Doo style, your heads poking around the corner, looking in. So yeah, if you want, you can wait a bit for Lorik to get back. While you're waiting, yes.
Could I give Lorik a signal that we are ready?
Yeah, I assume you guys have comlinks, and you just give it a little buzz. Lorik gets it, but he's just wrapping up. It's going to be maybe another minute for him to wrap up his part of things. While you're doing that, the Overseer Bryn continues to talk with what appears to be the commander of the Imperial shuttle. He seems to be a stormtrooper, bringing in a detachment who will be running security for Timo the Hutt. Oscar, you actually know, since you worked for Timo has been bribing the local Imperial governor, and who will often loan a squad of stormtroopers to take care of things that he doesn't want to get his hands dirty with. Or things that are usually outside of his grasp, he will bribe the Imperials to handle for him. This does not bode.
Okay. So Timo has brought in some people, basically, and that means...
It seems that way.
Okay.
It seems that way.
So they're probably... I mean, very possibly they are after us. Could I make that inference, right? I mean, probably...
You think that's definitely a possibility, seeing as you kind of shot your way out of Timo's palace earlier?
Gosh, this is not good.
Since the Gamorreans were not successful in bringing you in, Timo probably called in a favor with the Imperial governor.
Bash, you know what this means. You know what this means, right? You know how Timo operates. What are we going to do?
We're going to wait for the Wookiee, because I'm not going in there without a Wookiee.
And it just so happens that around that time, Lorik returns, looking very grumpy for having been detained so long.
Everyone, I must inform you what is going on.
Why took you so long?
Lorik, did you see the stormtroopers out there?
Stormtroopers?
Lorik, you did not see any stormtroopers yet. They are in the process of still landing and disembarking.
They're inside.
Okay. We must be careful. Timo has...
Here's what we're going to do. We're all going to barge in. Lorik, I want you to put 2 blaster shots into the roof, and we're all going to come out there, guns out, and we're going to try and just take over this by pure intimidation.
Bash, that is your usual way, but I must say that does not seem smart. These stormtroopers are not just Gamorrean guards. These are trained professionals.
Stormtroopers. These are stormtroopers in the roof. We're threatening the locals.
Gotcha. I see what you're saying.
The stormtroopers are still on the ship, and I'm trying to get control of this room so I can keep them.
Before we do anything reckless, Pash, we must disable all communications. If they get any word to the stormtroopers that we are attacking in here, then we are going to be in for a world of hurt.
Well, the only way to get communications is to walk in and ask them to turn it off, or to barge in there and make them turn it off. And
do they not have a power generator outside somewhere?
Ooh, the droid makes sense.
Ooh.
Yeah, but if we turn that off, the whole power to the facility's off, and then we don't get the clamps off the ship, and we don't get the ship out of here.
Surely there's something we can destroy, correct?
You have a couple options as you guys kind of take a moment to plan. One option, yes, you could go in guns blazing, take over the center, and do it all yourself. You realize, I know I've only put 2 tokens down in there to be kind of representative, but there's actually a number of techs, so there's probably enough. If 1 or 2 of you snuck in and pretended to be techs yourself, you might go unnoticed if you're able to keep things subtle and just undo the clamps that way.
I think the Wookiee should pretend.
I
don't think you want me to pretend.
Chewbacca was a skilled starship engineer.
This is true. That is true, actually. That is true.
Wookiees have a bit of a technical aptitude. That's an option.
But I think maybe we should reserve the Wookiee for strong arming the person in control of the communications.
That, again, also absolutely an option. You can even try and maybe negotiate. I mean, this is Overseer Bryn does not work for the Empire directly. I mean, they're kind of forced to because it's the Empire.
Mhm.
They get to throw their weight around, but this is just part of the spaceport facility. They're not employees of the Empire. So maybe, with like a charm or a negotiate, you might be able to convince Overseer Bryn to look the other way. I am going to say right now, because of past history, any negotiation or charming that Pash tries will have a setback.
Okay.
Just
so
due to past history.
We've heard from Pash. What do you think, Lorik and Vex?
I think I want to ask to leave this planet.
Quick question: does she work for Timo directly?
She does not work directly, but Timo is another person of power who's thrown his weight around.
Would she understand some of the hardships for working for Timo?
She definitely would.
And would she know who I am, since I am a hired hand and oftentimes with Timo?
I would say, between you and Pash, both of you do have a bit of a history with Overseer Bryn. She's kind of the person you talk to if you need to get clearance to leave the planet, or from this spaceport.
I think Gamora would have then history with her as well.
Probably, yeah. Agreed. So
Everybody
do you guys?
except me.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one unfortunate thing about being droids. No one really pays attention to you. Which can be both a blessing and a curse.
Actually, that might be to our advantage, right?
Oh, if Vex were to sneak in and just pretend to be a droid doing maintenance,
Yeah.
most people probably wouldn't even give you a second look. So that's another option. Good point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we want to lock down that ship that the Imperials just landed in.
True.
I think I could probably do that.
Pax, does the ship we're gonna use have weapons?
Yes. The ship, the Crate Fang, is a YT 2400, and it doesn't have as nice a stuff as the Falcon, but it does have those turrets on the top and bottom, and I think it might have a couple of concussion missiles. I haven't looked. I know I checked earlier, but I haven't. When we get to the hangar bay, I'll be able to give you a full readout of the Crate Fang's armaments.
Maybe we could fire at the Imperial ship and disable it before we leave.
Well, we could disable it from here.
Lock down those clamps.
Lock down the clamps on the ship that are holding our ship in. Once the security clamps are on there and they're off our ship, we can smash the controls so they can't.
Or just shut
Do
down
it.
the power.
I cannot believe that I am saying this, but Pash, I think you have the best plan.
How about this? I'm just gonna walk in, grab the first guy I see by the neck, point my blaster at somebody else, and ask if we can leave the planet.
Okay. Keep in mind there are those 2 security droids in the back.
I'm pretty angry at the security droids right now. I could probably make one of those.
Okay. If you want, you can just dash right in and try and attack one of the security droids straight off. That'll send a clear message.
Wait, Lorik, no. Usually I am with you on this, but I think this time we need a certain subtlety.
So, remind me again, what was Pash's plan?
I said we were all going to jump in with guns and take over it by force.
So no subtlety.
No subtlety.
No, it's
Absolutely none.
Oh shoot.
all our cards out on the table.
I would prefer to be a little bit more stealthy and subtle.
Okay.
Maybe we can try talk to the lady.
What
Yeah,
if we
here
have
are
you?
the-
What if we have you go in and disable and clamp down the ships and everything, Vex, without alerting anyone?
That's a possibility too.
And then
Okay,
we are
Vex.
ready with all of our guns if we need.
Pax, how is the layout of the system? Where can I find the clamps?
So, basically, those controls, if you look in the room, they're basically at the set of controls next to the Aqualish, the guy with the kind of orangish red vest.
Yep.
That guy.
Gotcha.
So the console to his left, that is the controls you're looking for. So it's kind of a straight shot.
Send the robot out.
That
I see.
might be a good first step, and if things go south, the rest of you can come pouring out like an angry
Exactly.
wave of ruffians.
I think we should
All
put
right.
blasters to stun, though. No one here deserves to die.
That's true. These are just honest Joes putting in a day's work, so good point.
Blasters
All
to
right.
stun. And then at this point,
the person
I
is going to do the initial shooting. You shoot and then set it to stun, because you want them to see real lasers.
Pash, you are in charge of taking out the lights with your real lasers. I have already set my gun to stun.
All right. So, Vex, you begin trundling out, your servos whirring, and a couple people notice you as you go, but they see, oh, and it's a droid. And they pay you no mind.
I'll first start looking around on the other screens and.
Okay. Again, people look at you, but I'm not even going to make you roll. Droids wander in all the time. And you get to the computer interface. So, if you want to do a computers check, that'll be an average check. Wow. Odd that the alarm had to go off in the background music just then. That doesn't mean anything. Don't worry.
Yes.
So, you access the controls. One of those little scomp spikes pops out of your wrist, inserts into the computer interface, and you begin accessing the computer. Go ahead and make me a computers check. Again, it's going to be average, and this is to undo the docking clamps on Docking Bay Auric.
Okay. I have 4 intelligence and 0 aim computer.
Okay, so that's going to be 4 green die against 2 purple.
Cool. Okay, I'm gonna roll.
hmm
I got 3 explosions and 2
Okay.
that start light things.
All right. Well, I got
Press.
some good news, and I got some bad news for you.
Oh no.
Good news, everyone. The docking clamps on Docking Bay Auric are undone. Unfortunately, while you were accessing the system, you were noticed, Vex. The Aqualish looks over and starts burbling in his kind of, Aqualish language, asking, "Hey, what are you? You're a medical droid, aren't you? What are you doing in the spaceport?" Vex, how do you reply?
Error, malfunction, error.
So this sounds like a deception check.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll me. It's going to be an easy deception check. People expect droids to malfunction. So go ahead and make me a deception. I believe goes off cunning.
Yes.
Do you have any training in deception?
No.
Okay. What is your cunning? Is it 1?
1. Yes.
So roll 1 green die with a bonus blue die against 1 purple.
Cool. And it's 1 explosion.
Oh, so he falls for your clever ruse. Gosh darn it! I keep talking to the decks down in droid control to get their poodoo together. All right, come with me. I'm taking you down to maintenance. Or can you at least get there by yourself? I'm kind of busy. Turn yourself in for a standard diagnostic, okay?
I shall be fine. I start walking back to the side entrance.
Okay. He grumbles and goes back to his work, having solved this particular problem, or so he thinks. Unfortunately, that means you're not going to be able to lock down the controls on
That's
Landing
right.
Bay Besh. You got the thing you were after. Your ship is now unlocked.
Okay.
Is there anything?
Ship is free. I failed to lock the other ship.
Well, we'll
No.
just have to fly casual.
Fly
You don't look like you're flying casual.
Casual, indeed.
Just drift to the left.
Alrighty. Do you guys leave the spaceport control at this point?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Let us then transfer back to the streets of Mashuda,
Okay.
which I believe are tokens all still there.
Oh,
Yes, they
They are.
I think they are.
Okay.
So let's move back to the streets just around the spaceport control, and I'm going to drop in a couple of tokens. Give that a second to...
Wow, they're big. Big
Which
storms.
landing bay are
sorry.
we going to again?
Auric. So
Auric.
fortunately, the opposite one the stormtroopers are coming from.
Okay.
Let's see. Oops. That's not what I meant to do.
That is a big stormtrooper.
So
The
let me
giant
quickly-
stormtrooper. Oh god.
I'm just envisioning one of those big inflatable, wacky, wavy, inflatable arm waving. It's like a stormtrooper one.
That spells trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Attack on Stormtrooper.
Sorry, I'm just filling in the hit points on all these guys. But we'll get to them in a second. So there's going to be a brief encounter here in just a second. Let me read off the encounter. So you guys you're feeling pretty good. You've got everything you need. You just need to get that ship. But suddenly, the crowds thronging the streets of the settlement part, and you see a chilling sight. You see a group of 3 soldiers in white armor of the Empire's elite, stormtroopers. As you see them, you realize the lead trooper with the red or orange pauldron on his shoulder is pointing right at you. You hear his filtered voice break through the crowd, sounding mechanical. "There they are," the stormtrooper says. "Get them!" As you turn to
Do it.
escape, you see a second group of stormtroopers approaching down a side street. This could get tricky. Now, this isn't necessarily... Let's see, I'll put these guys over here. Now, stormtroopers function in what is called minion groups. The good thing about minion groups is each individual minion has pretty low hit points, but they work together as a group, and together as a group, they're actually much more formidable. They get to actually combine their dice pools. So the more minions there are in a group, the more dangerous they can be. And stormtroopers are fairly dangerous. Your first instinct, all 4 of you, is to maybe just run and try and lose them in the crowded streets. So this isn't going to be a combat yet unless you do want to stop and try and fight them. As the GM whispering in your ear, "This is kind of a bad idea."
Okay.
Well, looks like there's a kind of I could probably squeeze through this wall right here. I
Absolutely.
figure they're in heavy armor. It might take them longer to get through.
We know this place pretty well. We should be able to move through it pretty easily.
Good point.
I would agree with that statement.
And I would sneak that way.
Okay. That sounds like you're trying to make a stealth check. So, Pash, go ahead and roll your stealth skill for me. That's going to be, again, a cunning as the base ability, plus any stealth training you have. And it's going to
No
be against,
stealth
again...
training,
No
but I
stealth.
have
So,
cunning.
3 green against 2 purple.
2 purple. Ooh, 3 successes, but 2 disadvantages.
Okay. Good news. You've managed to lose the stormtroopers. But...
The robot gets stuck in the narrow pass, is what I'm thinking.
Ooh.
Well, this is just for you right now. Each of you are going to be doing your own individual thing.
Okay.
Maybe what you do is, unfortunately, you go through basically what is essentially a place where a bunch of garbage has been piled up. So you're hidden, but you're going to have to do some climbing, I think, in the next pass to get past this obstacle. Does that sound fair?
Yeah.
All right. So Pasha has disappeared. The stormtroopers do not see him anymore. The other three of you, what are you going to do in this initial phase as the stormtroopers spot you and start muscling their way through the crowd?
Okay. Can I say something?
Sure.
Do we see something that is maybe a flame or explosion, or that can give us
Ooh.
Okay.
distraction?
On the map, do you see that water tower there?
I do.
It is much like the water towers here on Earth. It is a large kind of circular metal structure supported by some not terribly well put together struts. If you can figure out a way to unbalance it, you probably could cause that water tower to come crashing down, especially as this stormtrooper group down here is moving up the alleyway.
Ooh, I like this.
And maybe a well-placed blaster shot. Maybe if any of you have any grenades.
Ooh. Let me see. I might actually. I've got lots of artillery. I am a bounty hunter after all.
I got stun grenades, but I would say to Gamora, what's her name?
Awesome.
Could you shoot at the water tower and maybe take struts out?
So I do have a heavy weapon, which is probably really good. So that's great. I do not, unfortunately, have any. I only have the blaster. It is ranged heavy. I have a comlink, 2 binders, and a data pad. I'm going to MacGyver a bomb together. No.
All right.
You don't have any rubbers.
I think this sounds like a skullduggery check? Question mark?
Well, so I'm wondering though. I mean, like a heavy blaster wouldn't be able to take out a water tower, right?
Well, again, you got some pretty narrow, basically like some narrow pipes have been shoved up and lashed together to keep this spherical metal container up in the air.
So basically, if I'm a good shot.
If you're a good shot, you can maybe unbalance it enough to cause that heavy weight to start wobbling back and forth, and maybe come crashing down as the stormtroopers come at you. That's an option.
I do not like the look of those supports on the water tower, but I do not think that I have what it takes to take it down in one shot. Does anyone have anything that can help?
I have a light blaster that I can at least help with.
Could we
I
shoot
can
together?
Wait, what does DM say?
Maybe a couple of shots would do it one shot.
Okay, cool.
Maybe.
Like, could we aim together, and the combined force of both of our blasts might be enough? Like, do you think that would
I would
actually
assist
work?
as well.
That sounds like it has some good possibility to it.
Vex says this might work. If he says this might work, I think we have a plan.
One last question.
Yes.
How big is Vex, and could I carry him?
Vex is roughly C-3PO sized.
So
yes,
pretty
you probably
easy
carry
to carry him.
Yes.
All right, let's do this.
Okay. So yeah, I think we want to shoot at the same time. Let's pinpoint aim at the perfect spots, and both of us are really good with blasters, right? So I think we get a little advantage.
I said I would assist as well, by the way, with shooting.
Oh, right.
So all 3 of us. Let's just do it.
All right. Everybody make me an appropriate ranged combat check. This will be average with a setback. So 2 purple, 1 black. The setback being you've got a short amount of time to pull this off before the stormtroopers are upon you.
So it's always going to have 2 purple, 1 black, or is it just that's the roll?
For all 3 of you, it's going to be 2 purple, 1 black for your opposition dice, and then it's whatever your skill in blasters is. So
gotcha. Okay.
Agility plus either heavy or light ranged.
I have?
Is it a plus or just one of them?
Upgrade. Yeah,
Okay.
upgrades a green for number of skill ranks you have.
Okay, cool.
So I would just do my 2. Is it 2 green or 2 yellow? Sorry.
If you have 2 skill, that'll be 2 yellow, and then the remaining of your ability will be green. So if you have 3 agility?
I have 4 agility.
4 agility. That's right. So that's 2 yellow for you and 2 green.
Awesome. Okay.
So I have 3 agility. So is it 1 yellow, 2 green.
Yes.
Interesting.
Oh boy.
Well, so my roll is a net of 2. What is it called? So it's success and fail. So 2 failures, and then
Okay.
a total of 5 advantages.
That is a very common outcome because usually the successes and advantages are on different sides. You tend to get either a lot of success or failure, and then a lot of the opposite, either advantage or threat.
Okay.
So I'm going to say your shot isn't enough to knock over the tower by itself, but those advantages are definitely, it's got a little wobble going on. It's just not enough to have it topple over yet.
So can it be something where those advantages would be that where I aimed, it wasn't where I originally intended, but it ended up being the perfect spot for Lorik and Vex's shots to really add into this, to kind of give them an advantage on their rolls.
I will let each of them add 2 bonus die to their rolls.
Yeah.
For your shot.
You're welcome.
You got so many advantages. Yes.
I already rolled, so do I just
Add in 2 more blue die, and
So you can just keep that and then add roll the 2 blue die separate, and then add that.
yeah, yes.
Okay, so I have 3 successes and 2 threats.
Okay.
I got 2 success and 2 threats.
Okay. So between Lorik and Vex, your light blasters just pepper one of those struts, and with a earth-shattering crunch and snap, it shatters, and with a creaking groan, that that water sphere comes smashing down, and a tidal wave of water washes through the streets. And yeah, those stormtroopers, they get hit by that wave of water, and they are just all knocked prone and slightly washed down that street. And you hear some distant, Sir, I can't continue. I can't get up. Sir, my armor is waterlogged. Sir? Sir, Stevens is kicking me. So I'm going to say this group now is dealt with. And the other group, the lead stormtrooper here and the other ones, they're also blocked off from going down that alleyway by all the stuff that gets washed down and is now clogging up the streets. So they are stuck there. They can no longer pursue.
Okay. I want to grab.
Unfortunately, for Lorik and Vex, the 2 of you aren't able to dodge the water that also goes streaming down your alleyway. Those are those 2 threats. You can take those as 2 strain apiece, or you can maybe make me a coordination or athletics roll to pull yourselves out of it. I'll leave that up to you how you want to handle that.
Could I grab Vex and try to do a coordination roll or
You
something?
absolutely may. You'll take a setback, a black die, for having to deal with him and yourself at the same time, but you absolutely may.
Okay, and I don't know what that would be.
So coordination skill, I think, goes under agility.
Okay, so I have 3 agility, but I don't have any ranks in coordination.
All right, so that'll be 3 green dice against 2 purple and 1 black.
3 success, 2 threats.
All right, I'm just going to treat those threats in the interest of time as strain damage. You kind of have to strain to pull the droid out from the rushing water, but you succeed and you get both him and yourself out, and you are free to head down to Landing Bay Auric.
Awesome.
Pash, I haven't forgotten about you. Make me also either an athletics or a coordination check to extract yourself from this alley so that you may also continue on your way.
Nation or athletics. I don't have any stats in either one.
Oh, it should just
So it'd be straight up something, right?
for coordination, it'd be agility. For athletics, it'd be brawn.
All right, and they're the same, so
Okay, well, your choice.
yeah.
Do you want to do it gracefully or brute strength?
Gracefully, probably.
Yeah. You're a smooth
Pash
operator.
got to keep himself looking good. Smooth.
So that'll be this will be a fairly easy check, just 1 purple.
1 purple.
hmm You're not in any particular danger right now. You can take your
And
time.
I got 4 advantages.
I'm gonna treat that as it takes you some time, but you do it. Maybe you don't look as cool as you wanted to, but no one's looking anyways. So, and with that, you have solved my stormtrooper puzzle.
Nice.
So let's transition to Landing Bay Auric.
Awesome. Well, this is great.
Alrighty. And I'm actually going to drop in one more adversary real quick while you guys are moving over.
Okay.
Big droid. Scary. Retreat. Retreat.
Alright. Let me fill out his hit points real quick.
I just realized, do I actually have the characters on here? I may have goofed and not actually had the characters on here.
Oh no.
For me, where am I? Where should
I'm
we
on
come
the-
in from?
I'm on-
Where's the
Okay,
entrance?
so actually where you have Vex right there, that is the entrance.
Okay, cool.
Where it says Landing Bay.
Perfect. Okay.
And let me go to...
So I'll add myself in, but if you could add the others, I sure would appreciate it.
Of course. 1 second. And I will transfer over... Oh! Actually, everyone seems to be coming over already. Let me...
Awesome.
I
I was actually able to move my thing this time.
Oh,
Oh,
nice. Oh, great.
Hooray!
if I drag my character in, it doesn't look the same.
You need to drag from the name. Not the picture, the name.
Oh, that might have been what the issue was.
There we go.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yay!
Very cool.
Alright. Yeah, go for it, Mana.
So... Oh, no, actually, never mind. I
Okay.
defer to you. Carry on, good GM.
No problem. So, after escaping from the stormtroopers, a large pour stone hanger looms before you. An enormous letter, the letter Auric. For us on Earth, it means the letter A. Stenciled into the building side. As you approach, you can see through the open hangar doors to a cavernous interior, where a rusty-looking light freighter rests with its loading ramp deployed. All
What
you
a
have to
hunk
do
of
is
junk.
Yes.
the garbage will do. All you have to do is get that ship, and you can leave Tatooine. 2 equally rusty security droids stand outside the entrance. If you want that ship, you'll have to get them, or get past them.
I'll get a
Sure.
security droid.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, we can
Take the arms
go
off
into
that
the ship.
security.
Let me move Trex real quick. He is... Oh, that's not what I meant to do. There we go. He is actually there. So, yeah, you see 2 droids. They see you approaching, but they're not doing anything yet because you're still kind of at the entrance. Let me actually put them... They're down here, down below by the ship. And there's a third droid by the boarding ramp. How do you fellas wish to proceed?
Okay. Quick question. Do
Yes.
the droid have a way to plug in something? Like
If you see over to the right at the bottom, there is a control room. If you want to plug in there, you may.
Oh, nice.
no, I mean on the
Oh.
droids themselves.
Oh,
So
you're talking
if I
like...
get close- If I'm
could you
get
pull
close, I
a... Gosh, why can't I think of the name of Alan Tudyk's droid? Dang it. But do the thing he was doing in Rogue One, where he was plugging into the other...
Right. I can't.
That's
think
what you're
of
trying to
the name.
do? It's killing me right now. I'm so angry with myself.
Oh no! I'll look it up.
Alan Tudyk's wonderful droid. There we go.
I actually
But
can't
yes,
remember any
if you
of the
want to
characters.
do that, you will...
Actually, I've got an idea.
Ooh,
K2SO.
Still got the part, right?
K2SO! Okay. Yes, Pash.
I'm like, we're here. We got the part from the part for the ship.
All right. If you want to try and bluff the droids,
Yeah, they sent us down.
Okay.
Nice.
Like the pirate.
All-
I assume it's in the Wookiee's pack or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The droids down below, they turn their mechanical heads with a little mechanical whirl to look at each other. They look back at you. If you have the hypermatter reactor igniter, please show it to us.
I show them.
Very good. The captain of the ship, Trex, is already aboard. He will direct you how to install it.
Sweet. Let's do it.
All right.
That was easy. I love it.
Well,
Good zinking,
so far,
Pash. That went
so
far too
good.
easy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're droids. Trex told them, when the hypermatter igniter gets here, direct them to me. So, yeah, move everyone up to the boarding ramp. And you are greeted by a yellow and orange scaled Trandoshan who hisses as you enter. Who are you? I didn't receive any transmissions about any visitors. What is your business?
Can I suggest that at this
I'm
point
immediately
both
pulling my blaster out.
Yeah,
I'm like,
can
the ship
both-
is ours now.
can both Pash and I
Got
like not
little
even
chance.
stopping, just like shoot? Like, would you be down for that, Pash?
I'm about
If you do that, we will enter into initiative.
Oh, so
You
that we
see
wouldn't have an
that
advantage.
Trex also has his blaster in his scale, and he doesn't have it raised yet.
Yeah.
But as soon as you guys make a move, he is gonna. I mean, to give you a little peek into the future, his first action is gonna be, "Droids, defend me!"
And
Okay,
I see there's a
I-
droid right behind us. But what if we
Yeah.
do something like, can we intimidate? Would we have to go
You
into
can-
initiative?
Well,
can try and-
I've got my gun out.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a.
DM.
Another
We're
option.
on the boarding ramp, so we can close the ramp probably before the droids get on the ship.
Could I close the boarding ramp?
Let me
Yeah.
give you another option. You can also try and deceive Trex and say, "We're here to deliver the hypermatter transmitter, just like you asked."
We
and you
could
can-
do.
If you want to avoid a fight, or if you want to fight him, if you want to do
We're
bad
gonna have
things
to fight him
Trex.
anyway when we take off in the ship.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
If
I'm
you wanna
down with
fight
fighting
now, okay,
But I think we
I
need
have an
to like
alternate-
close the ramp. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
okay. So we will go into initiative.
But I think
As
Zizal
long as
had
one
a.
of you.
I think
Oh.
Zizal had something that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go for it, Zizel.
I was just gonna say, since he's a Trandoshan, I think I'm just gonna attack him.
You're just gonna grab
yeah,
him.
I
Okay.
think basically
'Cause
like in this scenario, like
Yeah,
Vex,
we're
Vex
about to
closes
jump
the
him.
ramp, and then we all just jump him.
All right. We'll tell you what. As a compromise, I will. We'll go into initiative. If on the first turn, because again, anyone can go in whatever slot they want as long as you go. Whoever closes the boarding ramp, as long as they go before a droid can climb on board, it'll keep the droids out.
Nice.
Does that sound fair? All right.
Yeah.
So give me again vigilance or cool, whichever you wish to use, and again let me know your results. I am gonna roll for Trex and at least that one droid.
Vigilance or cool.
And remind me again how that works. So we
So
take.
you're taking just your ability in either willpower or presence, and upgrading it with however many skill ranks you have in either vigilance or cool, respectively.
3 advantage.
Okay.
Sorry, what was it that we are comparing it with?
You're not comparing it against anything. You're just rolling those dice. It'll be like there's no purple dice, no red dice. You're just rolling and telling me how many successes and advantages you got.
Oh,
This is
and
for
it's,
me to determine.
and it's just how many out of like if I have one vigilance, I would just roll one. What color?
One
again?
yellow. It's one yellow for the skill rank, and then however many additional ability dice. So if you have like a 2 in willpower, it'll be 1 yellow, 1 green. If it's a 3 in willpower, it's 1 yellow, 2 green.
Oh right. Okay. So willpower, I have 2, so it would be two green and 1 yellow. Is that total?
A 2 willpower,
Yeah.
it'll be 1 yellow, 1 green, because the skill always upgrades a green to a yellow.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, that's right. Sorry. Yeah. Thank you.
No worries, no worries. And just let me know what you guys get.
I get 3 advantage.
Oh, so same as Pash there. Okay.
I
No
got
problem.
a success and 3 advantages.
And I got a success and 2 advantages.
Okay.
Success.
We all
And you
rolled
roll
fairly good.
Yeah. I'll
The droid did
I'll say.
not roll very well. That's a good sign. Okay. So here's how initiative is gonna go. One hero will get to go first, then a villain, then the rest of you will get to go, and then another villain will get to go.
Cool.
I'm perfectly okay with letting the Wookiee. I'm perfectly okay with letting the Wookiee take the lead.
Lower-
I would like to take the lead actually, so
Oh.
that
Okay.
I can close the door.
That is actually a good
Yes.
point. So
Make me an easy computers check. So your computer skill against 1 purple.
But then I definitely think Lorik should take the lead for the Trandoshan.
Okay,
Oh,
1
absolutely.
success and 3 advantages.
You reach out your hand, you slap the, or you put in a quick code on the boarding rack controls, and with a hydraulic, that hatch closes, and you hear a very muffled outside, "Sir, please open the boarding ramp. Sir, I cannot defend you while boarding ramp is closed." And that's the hero's turn. Next up, so that last villain slot doesn't exist anymore. That droid is trapped outside. Unfortunately, Trex gets to go next.
Oh
And he hisses as he sees the Wookiee, because he also realizes how this is probably going to go down. And he is actually going to pull out a heavy blaster pistol and fire off a shot at Lorik. So that is going to be ranged light. Okay, let me build up this dice pool. And unfortunately, this is at short range. So
Uh-oh.
Lorik, unfortunately, this is going to be an easy check for him.
Oh no. Oh no.
Lorik, this is an amazing roll I've just rolled. I rolled no successes, no failures, but 6 advantages.
Oh no.
What this means, T-Rex does not hit Lorik. Instead, he, I guess, hits a panel above you, and sparks start raining down above all of you as the lights dim in that section. And I'm going to say he's going to use this ability to duck away deeper into the ship. And he is going to move away. He's running away right now. He realizes things took a turn. Things are not going according to how Trex thought this was going to go. And he is going to run here over to the crew quarters.
Ooh, okay.
And that is his turn. Next up, anyone, Lorik, Oscara, or Pash, can go next in whatever you want to do. All of you, though, are going to have an ongoing setback just for this round due to those sparks in your face.
I am going to try and run up. And, I figure there's a bottom turret on this, right?
There is indeed a bottom turret. You want to hop in that turret?
I'm going to hop in that turret because I don't
Okay.
trust that the droids might not be able to get into this anyway.
Okay. Let me tell you a bit about how using guns on a ship uses the gunnery skill, which I believe you have some training in. The way vehicle scale works is...
I don't have a skill point in it, but I have it checked.
I do have a skill point in it.
Ooh.
So
that's right.
maybe we should swap out and have me on the lower gunnery.
I could do that. The other place I was going to run to would be the cockpit.
That would make more sense since you're a pilot.
Yeah,
Pilot.
You're
Yeah,
gonna
I would
start warming. Well, actually,
warming up the ship.
you guys also still have to install that part. Now, here's what I'll say. That part is not needed to take off. Based on the name for a hypermatter reactor, I think it's necessary for the hyperdrive.
Hyperdrive.
So before you can jump to hyperspace and get away, you need to get that part installed. So you can definitely start warming up the ship, spooling up the engines and all that. That'll be a piloting space roll if you want to do that.
Piloting space.
To get
Piloting
that,
space. I have 2 and agility. So I have 2 yellows, 1 green.
1 green, and this is an easy check. You have worked on YT 2400s since you were a wee lad.
This is 1300.
Oh, sorry.
2400's dash Rendar's outrider.
Shame on me, bad dash. Slap my wrist.
And I'm flipping things, and the lights going, and I'm like, why is the hyperdrive always out in these darn ships?
Already. Yeah, that's going to be an easy check. 1 purple.
2 successes, 2 advantages.
You hear the engine start to rumble to life, it'll take a few minutes, but yes, the ship is on its way to being operational and airborne. Good job, Pash. Who would like to go next?
I'm just making a beeline for the Trandoshan.
Make a beeline for Trex. You enter his quarters, and the lights are dimmed when you enter. And Trex isn't immediately visible. You'll have to make a perception check first before you can attack him.
Okay. So I just have 2 in cunning, no, and rank.
So that's going to be 2 green against 2 purple.
One failure, 1 threat.
Okay, you don't see him. And I know what that threat means. Now, if you want, you can also use your action just to turn the lights on.
Yeah, I might as well do that.
It will take up your whole action, though, to do that, to feel around and find the switch. So you go ahead, you do that. And unfortunately, now you can fully see, but now you also realize that Trex was hiding behind you, kind of over here in the corner, and he has readied an action, and on his turn, he is going to strike you from behind. So that's your turn. And Oscar, you're heading for that gunnery turret?
Absolutely, that is exactly where I'm going.
Okay, so I'll finish my explanation. Usually these guns are meant to be fired at other starships.
Right.
Let me just say, if you manage to hit a droid, the damage is inconsequential. It's going to be a pile of scrap if you get it.
Right. So,
and you do see, as you kind of, it's just like in the Falcon. It's one of those kind of, the chairs kind of like bobbing, around, swiveling, and you can definitely see all 3 droids from your position.
So, I'm actually interested though. So, this ship is fully independent, right? I mean,
yes.
In other words, we could take off and go, right?
Yes, you've removed the docking clamps. Pash is spooling up the engines right now. Probably in another turn or 2, you'll be able to take off.
Now, another question is,
yes?
The droids cannot currently get into the ship, right?
No. You see one has resorted to firing his blaster at the entrance, but these things are designed so that people just can't push a button and open the door.
Right.
So they are stuck outside currently, unless you decide to let them in.
So my thought is we have two things I mean, presumably this ship has some sort of shields.
Yes.
So my thought would be that I'm not in charge of that. I can't access that from the gunnery, right?
No, you would have to go to the engine room to do that kind of stuff.
Oh, from the engine
or
the cockpit.
Engineering.
Could
either the cockpit or engineering to do that.
So
kind of
I'll
stuff.
leave Pash. I'll assume that Pash is taking care of that. And what I'm thinking is, can I see anyone? I want to do one of 2 things. I either want to basically blow out the landing bay entrance so no one else can come in, or I want to take out the control room if that looks like that could be a threat. Like if they could somehow lock down the doors, for us to get up. I'm assuming there's like in Star Wars Episode 4 the big like doors that come over the
yes.
ship. Yeah. So one
right
of those
now,
options.
You have open skies above you. Yeah, either of those would work. Probably the control room would be the easiest to take out in a quick, barrage of blasts.
Mm-hmm.
But you could also definitely, again, it's concrete for this place, so you could definitely start shooting at the archway above the door and close it, or get rubble in the way. It's up to you.
Can I see anyone in the control room? Like, is that actually...
Not currently.
Okay.
It is currently empty.
The way that this works then is that like that's like a second layer for the control room, like that's a second level, I should say, or is that on this? Okay.
It's basically meant to kind of run the hangar bay. It closes the big doors above. If, for example, the town came under attack by starfighters, it could close and protect the ships.
So how do you
there's probably
access
another
the
way
control room? Do you have to come through that landing bay entrance and then walk on it? Looks like some kind of a little platform to get over to?
Yeah.
Okay.
You go up those stairs, walk across that little catwalk, and then you are in the control room. Control room is slightly raised above the ground.
Gotcha. Okay, my thought is I'm going for the control room. I want to destroy that thing.
Give me a gunnery check. Again, that's agility upgraded by your skill in gunnery.
Okay, so my agility is 4 and my gunnery is 1.
So that's 1 yellow, 3 green, and this is going to be an average check, so 2 purple.
Did you say 3 green?
3 green, that's correct.
Okay, so I've got a total of 6 advantages and 1 threat.
Interesting.
Yeah.
No success.
No successes.
So, you're peppering the concrete. You're just not quite... I think maybe it's an elevation issue.
Oh,
You're not quite able...
Yeah.
You're not quite able to hit the control room itself, but chunks of concrete are just... you're making these big old crater pock marks in the walls, and the droids are diving for cover now.
Okay, I know exactly what I'm doing. My next move will be to hop into the upper turret because I'll have a better shot at both of the entrance and the control room.
Have to be next round, though.
Right.
So,
yep.
I think that's everyone. We are now back to the top of the initiative, and unfortunately that means Trex gets to go. Trex has abandoned his blaster.
What about robot?
Wasn't I first?
Yeah,
sorry.
First.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Vex, I'm so sorry. Vex, you are up next.
I would like to move after the Wookiee.
Yes.
Support him. What do I see?
The lights are now on, so you also see that Trex is behind Lorik, and he has like this wicked, like almost like twisted blade ready, and he's getting ready to plunge that in the back of Lorik. And you have caught him just before he can do this attack.
I want to aim my light blaster on him, and I want to shoot him.
Shoot him! Again, you're at close range. That's going to be an easy shot. So roll your blaster skill against 1 purple.
Oh my gosh, that's a Wampa rug.
Yes, yes, it is. The details they put into this ship are just, mwah, I'm making that chef kissing the fingers motion.
That's amazing.
So good.
Okay, I have 1 failure and 3 advantages.
Okay, so you don't hit Trex, but you can maybe use those advantages to unbalance his attack. You definitely got the drop on Trex, so yeah, your shot goes wide, but Trex did not see that coming, and so he lets out a kind of a reptilian wah, and staggers backward. And Lorik, good news, you now know where Trex is.
Yay.
You no longer are in danger of being surprised by his attack. And Trex will now, on his attack, have some setback dice he has to roll. Good use of a turn, Vex. And speaking of Trex, it is now his turn. He is going to ready that blade and try and make a melee attack against Lorik. But he now has, it's going to be 2 purple and 2 black setback die. And he got only threats. So he actually, he lunges at Lorik, but Lorik, you catch him in your mighty arms, and you basically hold him at bay, and he's straining and struggling, and he will actually take some strain damage from those threats. So that'll take his strain down from 11 down to 8. And that is his turn. And he does a whole lot of not much. So next up are the rest of the heroes. Lorik, would you like to do something?
Well, I want to know is the ship now like raising up off the ground? Are we about to leave?
Once Posh makes a second piloting check, it will start to lift off.
Okay, I think I want to wait for that.
Okay. Posh, if you'd like to go next, or Oscara, if you'd like to go next.
So I'm basically sitting there waiting for the engines to spool, right?
Yeah, and they are now at a point where
Double-lining.
if you make an average piloting check, you can now start to lift the ship up. The repulsor lifts are online. The engines are all coming on in the green. There's a little.
All right.
You're seeing a little status message saying about hypermatter reactor not yet installed. Please resolve this issue before making a hyperspace jump.
Okay, and then so I'm going to make my piloting check.
Okay.
So
Same rolls before. Instead of being easy, it's going to be an average as you start to kind of lift the ship up out of the hangar.
so two
Purple.
against two purple.
Mm-hmm.
And first thing I'm going to do is say over our comlink, grab your socks because we're taking off. And
Nice.
I am not wearing
I
any
got
socks.
3 explosions. So
3 explosions. Very good. Yes. You, with an expert hand, the rest of you barely even feel a little bit of pressure under your feet as the ship lifts off.
well, I was going to try and do it like hot and heavy.
Oh, okay.
I want to knock everybody because
Okay.
I know that there's. That's why I gave everybody a warning because I'm like, hey, I'm doing this hot. Grab
Okay.
onto something. And
We'll
then
get to that.
So
We'll resolve that in a second. So yeah, what happens is that I think is with a deft hand, the ship goes almost vertical immediately, just whipping straight up, and those engines kick in just as a group of stormtroopers finally catching up with you guys. They run through the entrance. Stop that ship! But the engines kick in, and with a blast, they get sent sprawling backwards back out into the streets as the Crate Fang goes screaming for the skies. Now the rest of you, the ship has some ways to kind of counteract that, but not a lot. You remember Force Awakens when they're doing all those flips and stuff, all those flippy flips? So I'm going to need everyone to make either. I think this is going to be a coordination check. Everyone gets a bonus die for the warning that Pash gave you, but it's going to be a hard coordination check to not get tossed on your butt with this crazy maneuver. That'll
Okay.
include Trex, who is going to have a disadvantage for being pinned by a Wookiee. So go ahead and make me those checks. Let me look up. What is Trex's coordination?
So
Does he even
just-
have coordination? He does not have coordination. That's very sad.
So
How many
stormtroopers
purple
are firing at us right now, right?
Stormtroopers are sprawled out in the street, having tried to shoot at you, but being blasted backwards by the backdraft of the engines.
Okay.
As it,
Mana's character would be strapped in because she's already in the.
Yep.
yeah,
Gunner.
I'll say, Mana, no need to make a coordination check. You're already in the
Awesome.
the strapped in the harness, but Lorik and Vex are both going to have to make coordination checks to not.
How many purple die was it?
3 purple die. This is a very hard check. But you get a bonus die, or if you can think of any other thing that would help you maybe stay on your feet, I can
Okay.
be convinced
I
of.
have
Oh, yeah,
I have an success and an advantage.
very good. You're kind of in the door frame, so you just basically shoot your arm straight out and you brace in the door frame, and you are fine. You do not go. Your stomach is kind of a bit of flutter. Or wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking
He's a
of the wrong.
droid.
You're a droid. Yeah, you're fine. It's like, oh, okay, gravity just shifted a bit. I'm fine, whatever.
My fluids
Silly.
are a bit wacky.
Yeah.
Silly organics with their equilibrium and balance. Lorik, how did you do?
Do I roll? I have 3 in what was it?
Agility, I believe.
Agility. Yeah. So do I just roll 3 green die?
3 green die if you have no coordination training. That's basically what Trex is going to have to do, and he's going to have also some.
3 green, 3 purple, and a blue, right?
Yeah. So I got 2 success and 1 threat.
Okay. I am going to say that the threat is just some strain damage you take as you kind of try and balance yourself. Trex doesn't fare as well. He takes 2 more strain damage. He is down to 6 strain. You could pretty easily knock him out at this point if you wanted to hit him with a stun bolt.
I really want.
He has a lot of health. He has a lot of soak. He does not have a whole lot of strain.
I really wanted to just drop him out of the ship.
That's an option too. If you
Knock
want
him out and we'll throw him out.
Yeah.
All right. So that was Pasha's turn. Yeah, we have Lorik and Oscara next. So whoever wants to go next.
Is it possible for, like, where could we actually jettison Trex, and could I then, like, take a shot with the turret?
Okay. So the little one option is the boarding ramp, obviously. Another option, directly across from that, there's an escape pod little airlock right there.
Can we
You
shove
could
it in
drop
an
it.
escape pod and then try and take a shot at the escape pod?
Well, do we have an
I
escape
kind of
pod?
feel like, yeah, and if we do,
I will say that yes, you probably have an escape pod.
and do we really
Okay.
want to waste it on him?
Yes.
Remember in A New Hope, and they're
Yes.
like, the ship has jettisoned the escape pods. Well, the Millennium Falcon never actually had escape pods. They just had it open. They just kind of made it look like it had recently fired.
Yeah.
Exactly. I love it. So up to you guys. You can either go for the boarding ramp or the escape pod. Up to you.
I feel
mean-
like I want to save the escape pod.
Why are you so
prudent.
practical?
It just makes more sense to just drop him out of the boarding ramp.
Okay.
But I mean, it's harder to hit a Trex than it is to hit a escape pod.
He's probably gonna die from the fall.
I want to hit Trex with my lasers. We have
Just
a
hit his
grudge.
landing spot. Just hit his landing spot.
The Trandoshans have taken my sister. This is a
Okay.
true
They've taken my
story. So
family.
I have a huge
let's-
grudge.
Yeah, they
that's-
took my
that's-
family.
Yeah.
I mean,
get rid
Al
of-
does not know you saying that, so he would probably do what he
Yeah.
wants.
No,
to.
it's true. It's
This is
true.
so what's happening, fellas? We making our way to the boarding ramp
Yeah,
with Trex in tow.
and Vex too. He'd probably have to open the door for me.
Let me go, you big hairy carpet!
I'd punch him in the face.
Ah! My
more
face, my money maker. And Vex, yeah, if you want to hit that
I would like to hit the
the
open
boarding
button.
ramp. Okay, you hit the button with a blast of air. The boarding ramp starts to slide open. Lorik, give me a nice cheesy one-liner before you toss Trex out the open boarding ramp.
Watch out for the step.
Lorik, you want to say anything? Anything?
That last step's a doozy.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm no need to roll. You just shove him in the direction of the boarding ramp, and he goes spiraling away down, tumbling end over end. And if this were a movie, it would probably go to some very peaceful music as Trex is, spinning through the air with Moss Shuda below him. Oscara, you still have an action left.
Well, all I want to do is just rotate this turret, and I just want to blast Trex as we just shoot off, and the old screen fade and all of that.
Okay. So this is going to be a gunnery check.
Same roll as before, right?
Well, it's going to be a bit harder because Trex is already a small target, and he's
Yes.
getting smaller.
So here is my reasoning for why you should let me do this. Is it would be
Okay.
so super cool.
I agree.
No.
Not
No.
arguing.
For real. I think first of all, I'm a bounty hunter who has trained a lot, and I've also got definitely some like gear to help me like focus and aim. And even though I'm in like a gunnery thing, I have some experience with these big turret guns, and also I want to be fueled by my just intense rage because not only is this a Trandoshan, but this is also representative of all of my being just, basically a slave of Timo the Hutt.
Okay. Basically, what I'm hearing here is that Oscara has a penchant for shooting people with ship's guns.
and also has, a lot of
some
adrenaline and frustration. Yeah.
So it's still going to be a hard check.
Yep.
But I'm willing to give you 2 boost die. One for some gear you have, and one for how motivated you are to do this right now.
Awesome. So what does that mean then for...
It's your gunnery check. It's your 1 yellow and 3 green.
Yep. My 2 purple?
Add 3 purple.
3 purple,
but
okay.
2 blue.
Perfect. All right, we ready?
And I love how dramatic the music has become.
I know. I really want this to happen. Please.
Let the dice decide.
Oh, yes! 3 successes, 3 and 1 advantage.
All right.
Yes.
So, we zoom back in on that gunnery turret with Oscara taking a deep breath, closing her eyes, focusing, and she opens them with the fading figure of Trex dead to rights. What cool one-liner does Oscara say before she pulls the trigger? Hit me up.
Oh my gosh.
Cheese it up.
Go
full 80s.
Oh no, I'm so bad at these. I don't know, I need help with a one-liner.
Can we get a call from a friend? Yeah,
phone a friend? I need to phone a friend.
Use the Force, Osaka.
Can I offer one?
Yes, please.
I just lost.
I was gonna say, don't let the blaster hit you on the way out.
That's a good one.
Or how about? I mean, so she's not really known. Oscara's not really known for her one-liners, right? I mean, she's sort of a quiet, strong type. So I think at this point, I think
just a simple goodbye.
Yeah. Oh, hang on a second. I know exactly what I need to say. I just need to. I need just a moment to double check something. Okay. This one's for you, Makara.
Oh, making it personal.
Yep.
And with that, you squeeze the trigger, and again, like an almost Wile E. Coyote-esque poof in the distance. Maybe the Smash Brothers little twinkling star.
Yes.
As Trex is reduced to atoms.
Yes.
Trex is no more, and his ashes will now be scattered over his beloved Moss Shuda. Pour one out for your buddy Trex. Maybe no one's buddy. No one's buddy. And with that, the Crate Fang, you leave atmosphere. And Posh, while you're up in the cockpit, a couple things become evident. Warning is still...
real quickly.
Yes.
So I'm just aware of time, and we do have a player who needs to get going.
Sure.
And
3 actually.
3 players who needs to get going. So I'm wondering if we should maybe sort of end on a nice little cliffhanger and continue this another time.
Thank you, guys. You solved my Edge of the Empire puzzle.
Awesome. I would love to do this again.
Before we leave the atmosphere?
Oh, yeah.
I would like to close the door.
Good call.
Please do that.
Great call.
And Posh is gonna come over the intercom being like, "Hey guys, we're not out of the woods yet. We still gotta get that part in."
Oh,
Still
right.
gotta get that part in, and as an added extra tension, you notice a couple of blips on your sensor screen, Posh. 3 very familiar signatures. The familiar shape of Imperial TIE fighters rising up from the planet's surface after you.
Oh, this is awesome. This is great.
And we end with a star wipe to credits.
Yep, and in fact, we actually do have some credits, which I will roll, but I want to first just see if you all would say a little bit about you and what you do if you stream, things such as that, and of course, any shout outs that you'd like to give, any links that you want to give, please do, because I'm of course your friend Art of Mana. I have really appreciated playing with all of you. I want to thank Dash also for all of his hard work in GMing this. Everyone, thank you. That was awesome. We'll definitely be continuing this again, so why don't we go just down the line in alphabetical order, and Dash, why don't you start us off?
All right. Well, I also want to thank all of you guys. I know this is a new system to most of you, and thanks for being game. Thanks for playing along. I had a lot of fun leading this. I hope you guys had just as much fun playing, and I am always open to continuing this adventure. This is, again, part of a starter set. There is actually some continuing plot hooks if you want to continue with these characters. That's an option. I do not stream. My computer's not that good. One of these days. I would love to start streaming someday, but maybe not quite yet. I am going to plug something. If you enjoyed this game system and listening to us play, there is a podcast I would like to recommend called the Campaign Podcast, played by comedians and led by a very skilled GM, Cat Cool. It is a wonderful little live play podcast. If you enjoy this and you want more, they also play the same system, and it is a hoot. Mana can attest to that.
Yes, indeed.
So that is all my plugs. Thank you again, everybody, and thank you for watching. Thank you so much.
Awesome. And next, let's go ahead and hear from Zizal. We'll come back to Rem at last.
I'm the Aloe8. I stream on Twitch. I stream mostly Pokemon at the Aloe8 TV. And you can also follow me on Twitter at ZAL08. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
And next, Yodestein?
I'm Yodestein. I do a little bit of streaming. Play Minecraft, Subnautica, a couple other survival games. That's not the important part. The important part is I mix playlists for all my streams, so we can talk music while I stream.
It's very cool.
I also play in two of Ramuko's campaigns, in one of my friends' campaigns, Twitch TV/Laurelania. I have to warn that Laurelania's campaign is a mature campaign. So it is definitely 18 plus. It's a gritty, evil campaign. And I will also be probably doing some live stuff in November, possibly with Satine Phoenix and Rudy Rutenberg, because we're all going to be at Gamehole Con. So I don't know if we're actually going to be, well, at least on my channel we will be live, and I will have Satine Phoenix and Rudy Rutenberg live for my Twitch. So
nice.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have Remuko.
Welcome. My name is Ramuko, and I'm a dungeon master on. I stream 2 games of Dungeons and Dragons, of which one is about to start in a few minutes. So if you would like to hear more roleplay, please go check that out. It will be at twitch.ramuko, and my Twitter is twitter.com/Ramuko0. So
awesome.
If I can going along, Ramuko.
If I can say, all of your names have been shouted out in the chat thanks to Fizzbolts, all of your Twitch links. And please do check out all of these fantastic people, fantastic streamers and content creators, and just really great role players. And it's been a blast playing with you. So until next time, may the Force be with you. Bye-bye.